Look at that splash art. That's a new one. Anyway, hello people from the internet. Hello everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. The time has come for me to play on stream once again. So here we are, about to play some dungeon crawl stone soup. We're gonna play more Shapeshifter. I don't know what kind of Shapeshifter. Hey, look at that! Adventurer and Sellout were swapped. I like that. So I've played Merfolk, Troll, and Draconian. Draconian didn't go very well, right? Like, I don't think I won Draconian. I did win Troll and Merfolk, I'm pretty sure. Uh, Meteoran. I don't know if Meteoran is that great because you don't really see that much of the game, and because of that, you don't see that much of potentially tiles that could have amulets or talismans or whatever they're called, talismans. I'll try Demonspawn. I think that might be fun. Let's see how it goes. Immediately we find Scale Mail, which I suppose is okay. It's not a terrible thing to have at the very beginning of the game. 6 armor class is kinda high for this point in the game. Yep. Probably not the wisest thing to do to fight 3 monsters in the open. But I didn't really feel like looting them towards a choke point. Okay. Hey, look at that. I'm probably dead. Yeah. Okay. Man. Cool. Nothing to say about that, really. I think that the rough part of that is that I still was level 1. If I had been level 2, it would have been a completely different thing. Anyway, this is kind of crazy. Hey, look at that. I got the best possible Demonspawn mutation. This is the most broken thing that the game has, I think. And the fact that I got it on experience level 2 is kinda crazy. I think that it's just a ploy for the game to disappoint me when I die with this character. Because you get the best mutation possible for a Demonspawn, and then you're like, well, now I don't want to die. And then you go down into D2 and there's another next to you, and then you die because there's another next to you, and you have to use your potion of 3 on D1. I wouldn't be surprised if such a thing happens very soon, in fact. Demonspawn aptitudes, yeah, they're pretty bad. They also don't level up nearly as fast as other things that I am used to playing. Hey, look at that. We don't get a D2 other. That's a nice thing. Unexpected, but I definitely appreciate it. What we do get is a bunch of gnolls and apparently a shop. Or I guess not even apparently, it's just there. There's a shop. I guess it could be a shop mimic, so maybe apparently a shop is correct. I think that I can beat a single gnoll in 1 versus 1 combat, but I really need to do not fight multiples at the same time, just like this. The issue with this situation is, of course, that they're gonna get attacks of opportunity. Oh, there's 3 gnolls. Okay, might be that. Yeah, unfortunate. Haste is not really gonna work here, or unless I just kill the gnoll. It works because it makes me immune to attacks of opportunity, but yeah, man. These early levels have been pretty bad. I've seen 4 levels in the entirety of the stream, and of those 4 levels, or has it been 3 levels? No, it has been 3 levels. It was 1, D1, and now D1 and D2. Yeah, it hasn't gone particularly well. Anyway, I see some stuff here that I am interested in buying at some point. You know how it is with me an early game. I think that I might go I might go Gosak since, you know, shops. Another potion of 3, obviously I want to buy that. I think that's a very important item to have access to. That's a new potion 3, so I would like to buy it. I decided to read my ID on scrolls, or on potions rather, and I got heal wounds and curing. Very convenient. Man, okay, yeah, like we have to go, Zach. Look at this. What is this ridiculous game? We even have 4 wins for all my willpower needs. Regen, though regen is not really that necessary, keeping in mind that I am a Demonspawn with powered by death. Like I'm not gonna need a ton of regen with this character, or rather, all my regen needs will be covered by powered by death. I'm pretty sure. So this is a character that I could easily use the Amulet of 4 wins on, and it would be okay. Okay, I would really like to buy the Potion of 3 immediately. It essentially guarantees that the next messed up fight that the game throws at me, I'm gonna be able to win, which is a pretty good guarantee to have. Another Beast Talisman, of course, we have already seen 3, taking into account the one that I started with. I wonder how likely is it for that one to generate, because I would really like to see, you know, others. Like Serpent Talisman is pretty cool. I like it a lot more than Maul Talisman. I think that Maul Talisman is a trap. It is a very difficult item to use unless you get like really good auxiliary armor. Because like the fact that it removes your entire body armor is a pretty bad thing. I'm gonna hold on to identifying scrolls because I know that I have a scroll blinking in a shop, so I wanna buy that as soon as I can. Finding Gosak soon is gonna be convenient. Okay. I have plate, but I also don't have that much strength. I have 18. So I think that if I put this on, yeah, my evasion goes to the dumpster. I don't know how much better would it be. You regenerate magic rapidly, so I have HP and mana regen. That is convenient. It's kind of cool that in 4 level ups I've gotten 4 mutations. The extra armor class from the scales is nice. Definitely comes into play if it's that I got it, or if you happen to get it this early. I'm not going Behemoth, we want Gosak. Haven't found the temple. The temple can be on this level, so it would be nice to just find it instantly. Would be a pretty good start to the game to have Powered by Death and then find the Gosak temple. Right after finding a bunch of shops. Okay, one of these guys has a spear. No halberds. Halberd gnolls are evil. Non-halberd gnolls are okay. They're manageable. Oh man, I was not counting on the 4th gnoll. I'll use a potion of 3. I want to use potions of 3 because I feel like their expiration date, kind of, to put it in some way, comes up even faster than the expiration date of heal wounds. And it definitely is nice to have like a stack of 12 heal wounds or so for SOT. Like it's much more impactful than having a stack of 12 potions of 3. They do come up in SOT, but only against one very specific, very rare enemy, that being the Cursto. So it doesn't really matter if I have a lot of them. Okay, I don't like this. It already took 1,000,000 damage. Yep, that's a pretty rough spot to be in. I think that maybe the correct thing to do was to just go upstairs instead of trying to run towards the center. Alternatively, it would be okay to be in this position if there was no Ice Beast. I think the Ice Beast completely ruins everything. I don't have cold resistance, obviously. The game just started. So if I use Potion of 3 here, it will mean that the Ice Beast will most likely kill me. But I don't really see any other way through this. Maybe we use Heal Wounds. Maybe I wait a bit. Because Heal Wounds can heal me for more than 20. Okay, now it's the time for Heal Wounds. Yeah, it was literally a full heal. I still think that this is not going very well. I'm gonna use a Potion of 3 as well. Okay, we kill the center and we kill the Ice Beast. You feel your magical essence form a protective shroud around your flesh. I have an amulet of mana regen, and I don't have an amulet yet. Eventually I'll wear 4 winds, but for now, I think we should use this amulet of magic regen. Alrighty, that leaves me with 57 HP and Guardian Spirit alongside 2 sources of mana regen. It's a good amount of regen. We also have Powered by Death, which is the best possible Demonspawn mutation, so things are looking up. There's still a fair amount of room for this run to die horribly. And at this point, I would even go as far as to say that it would be pretty bad if such a thing happened. By the way, this guy has Holy Wrath. Yeah, okay, I beat it. A bit surprising. Wasn't really expecting such a thing to happen. Okay. Yeah, it's my fault for tabbing it. I really shouldn't have. With might I can beat them, but let's see if I have might. Okay, Cirque might actually also beat them. I, however, do not have to fight them, and I definitely don't have any interest in fighting them at this amount of HP. Might as well just not do that. Two priests, very spooky indeed. Okay, we found might. That's a nice thing to have. I really don't like Charming. Yeah. I feel like any kind of character that has Charming is just a weaker character than the equivalent character with Paralysis, because Paralysis is, in my opinion, a more powerful hex than Charming. I used a couple of charges of Charming there to deal with the bees, but I could have used a single charge of Paralysis to reliably disengage from the bees, as opposed to what ended up happening, which was having a bee following me while I was trying to loot it to a different level, so I didn't have to deal with it. Yeah, Charming is pretty lame. I am definitely not a fan. I should probably use Curare. I think that I have it. Yeah, with Curare I can beat these guys. As long as they come against me 1 versus 1, of course. Same goes for this ogre. I lost a Curare dart. That's a shame. Found the temple. That's a nice thing. It's the Lugonu temple. Man, Lugonu is so nerfed. What does Lugonu even do nowadays? Protected from the effects of unwielding distortion weapons is completely irrelevant. Departing the Abyss is nice. Banishing your foes is nice, but I Have no incentive. No, wait, I do have incentive to train invocations because I'm a Demonspawn. You can corrupt the fabric of space. That's a powerful ability. Gating yourself to the abyss is dangerous, and corrupting your weapon with distortion is completely irrelevant. You know what? I haven't gone Lugonu in a very long time, and I did get the opportunity to go Lugonu, so sure. Um, Also, there's no Gosak here. That's another incentive to go Lugonu. I really wanted Gosak. Oh, come on. Are you gonna do it again? I hate jellies. Jellies are awful. I also don't like that Mind Burst does not work on jellies anymore. That used to be one of my favorite ways of dealing with jellies. Use a wand of disintegration because they have low willpower. So it used to work very well. That change of disintegration into Mind Burst was a big nerf to a couple of things that I like to do in this game. Um, Funnily enough, not even the first nerf to things that I like to do in this game related to that specific item, one of disintegration. It used to break single tiles of walls, which was extremely powerful. It was like having a more precise wand of digging, more precise, less efficient wand of digging, I suppose. But that ability was removed a couple of versions ago. By a couple, I mean like a good amount of versions ago. You guys think that I beat Grinder? I don't think that I beat Grinder so well. Yeah, like I need to get really lucky with no paralysis. If there's paralysis, Grinder beats me. There was no paralysis, so I did beat Grinder. Still not enough money for blinking, but we're almost there, which is pretty great. In 3 more gold, 1 more gold pile, I'm gonna find, or I'm gonna find out whether or not I'm carrying scrolls of blinking. Okay, let's go buy the scroll of blinking, as I said. I can buy more things later, like for example these. Yeah, pretty much want us to buy everything there. Would have been really cool to have Gosak accessible. Might take me a good amount of time to amass enough money for the Amulet of 4 Winds. Strength? Yeah, strength. I was thinking to myself that I have already gotten a ton of strength, but it is because I got a ring of strength, and I will most likely unequip that eventually. Anyway, my damage rating with unarmed combat is about 22. Why do I have 1 slaying? Wow, these guys don't even get enough shapeshifting to have 2 slaying, let alone 3. I guess that we train shapeshifting to 4.3 before training fighting, just for the little bit of extra slaying, because otherwise what even is the point of being in beast form? To be completely fair, I do not have any kind of auxiliary armor whatsoever, so being in beast form is a net positive, I suppose. You know what? I think that I am better off skipping those whites in favor of these ones that at least are not bunched up, so I can take them on 1 versus 1 in corridors instead of in the open. One of the whites that I just fled from also had a great sword, so I was not beating that guy. Okay, Lugonu 1 Peep of Piety. I can now depart the abyss. Completely worthless ability, but it might come up later. I got a chainmail. I might want to equip that. I might also want to leave the level. Yeah. Okay, so that's the second level that I leave incomplete. And we have bees. Let's see if I can charm this one. Okay, we charm it. It instantly dies. Faded Altar Lugonu, I got the Lugonu Temple. Um, oh, sorry. Yeah, this is the Lugonu Temple. So lots of altars of Lugonu. Rare opportunity, and I haven't gone Lugonu in a good amount of time, so why not? It helps a lot that Lugonu background was removed. So yeah, the only way for me to go Lugonu is to get that specific altar or that specific temple or an altar of Lugonu in the dungeon. And even then, I would have held on to for Gosak. I would have waited for Gosak on almost any other character. I think that this is the ideal character for taking the opportunity to go Lugonu because +3 invocations after all. And yeah, the altar of Gosak was as deep as D9. That is a lot. Should hold on to reading this identify until I buy all of these consumables. Yeah, specifically the scrolls. Yeah. I guess. Oh, I would like to go back, but I really can't. Um, because I don't have a path towards the previous level. We have gotten some really strong spells. It's a shame that I'm not particularly interested in going for spells because we also have a mana regen mutation. So yeah, I have a reasonable amount of things that I could do when it comes to using my mana that could be okay. Mana regen, I have an amulet of mana regen as well, but I have guardian spirit as a mutation, so I just don't want to build around mana, like invest a ton of very precious Demonspawn experience towards mana, and then just be left without mana in the middle of a fight. Okay, I can probably beat this guy. Yeah, we just one-shot the guy. That's not terrible. Okay, let's go buy some of these things. I think that I can afford these two. Yeah. Which is nice because those are the ones that I wanted to buy the most. Scroll poison is also an okay thing to know about. And I don't have enough money for an identify, so the journey continues. The journey for acquiring more money. Those are precisely the guys that I didn't want to see. It's a bit of a shame that we end up going downstairs into them, but at least I have good enough damage output that I can beat them before they beat me. As you can see, they hit pretty hard. Nothing to be surprised by. That's just how whites roll. I got enough money for the identify, but I'm not gonna go all the way back up there for only a scroll of identify. I feel like I can wait, especially having already identified stuff like heal wounds, curing, blinking, and teleport. Also fear. It's a pretty nice thing to have. Okay, Joseph, I have curare and I have a net. And so you die. And I retain my net and my curare, which is pretty nice, yeah. That was the ideal situation for me to be fighting Joseph on. Joseph appeared next to me, and I had the tools to beat Joseph, even if Joseph was at the range. I think you curate Joseph, and then you just run towards Joseph and net Joseph at the end, if it's at range. That or just like leave, because you can always try to do that as well. Lugonu, yeah, Spin Dart. I got the Lugonu Temple, so here we are. I did it partially because I thought of you, and you said earlier, or like not earlier, but like a couple of days ago, you said that Lugonu is your favorite god, and I haven't gone Lugonu in so long. I haven't gone Lugonu since Abyssal Knight was removed as a starting background. So here we are. Welcome to the cult. What indeed? Thank you for the gifts of Spin Dart to Storm Diver. I appreciate it. Um, Yeah, and I fully intend on using Lugonu this run. It might take me a while because Demonspawn aptitudes, but the rule of Demonspawn aptitudes being horrible completely breaks when it comes to invocations. That's why I am going Lugonu today. If it was not for that +3 invocations number, I wouldn't be Lugonu. Um, so yeah, we're gonna get like 12 invocations. If we happen to find an Orb of Guile, I'm interested in using it. I also happen to have access to the Amulet of the Four Winds. Oh, do I? I do have Four Winds. Okay, yeah, it was not one of my previous characters. It's this one that has Four Winds. So I think Orb of Guile plus Four Winds would be pretty funny. You just died because you rested in a volcano, and you rested in a part where clouds can generate, and clouds generated, and you died because of that. Yeah. I mean, on the other hand, like it, I know that it seems kind of ridiculous, but on the other hand, what would you really expect to happen if you're resting inside a volcano, right? So kind of flavor points for actually killing adventurers that rest in a volcano. Um, this is kind of a complicated situation. Oh, Vanish is at 50% chance to fail. It's not very expensive piety-wise, 2% of your max piety. That's not terrible. But unfortunately, I still don't think that this is gonna go very well. Like if I try to do it versus this guy. It's a 50% chance for it to work and then a 65% chance for it to succeed. The chances are definitely not in my favor. I think that we can either use heal wounds here and try to beat this guy with maybe Curare, which is in my inventory already. Alternatively, I can use fear here, and I think that's what I'm gonna do. Yeah, it's just the cleanest way to get through that. Oh man, Acid Dragon. If it shoots me with its breath weapon again, it's gonna be really bad. Mm. Okay, I'll take the Orc with a hand axe getting in attacks of opportunity on me over the Acid Dragon and potentially bringing the Acid Dragon upstairs. That would make things very annoying and complicated. We get Acid again. Yeah, who would have guessed that the only thing that's actually dealing real damage is the Acid Dragon? Running away from it was absolutely the correct play. That level has a lot of really ridiculous stuff for me to deal with at this point in the game, so I'm just gonna skip it. Yeah, you see Crystal in early dungeon, pre-lair dungeon, you know that you're not in for a good time. Well, in general, if you see Crystal, you know that you're not in for a good time. Man, it sure would be nice if this Cobalt Brigand could stop curating me. I'm the one who curates. Okay, at least we get another curate dart, because I finally managed to kill the Cobalt Brigand. Globes. So, 3 slaying or 1 armor class. I suspect that 3 slaying is better, even at my low amounts of armor class. Later, however, the more I amass auxiliary armor, the more appealing that will be compared to slaying. You know, Mikey used to be an old player of Crawl who really likes slaying a lot. I wonder what Mikey would think about Beast form. I wonder if Mikey would just go through the entirety of the game in Beast form, because Beast form gives 7 slaying once you have it at 10 skill. I don't have curing, So this might be a seriously bad situation. Okay. This is pretty terrible. I don't know if you agree with me, but that looks pretty terrible to me. Is there music in the background? Probably from something my mom's watching. She does watch a lot of Netflix and stuff. That does tend to have some background music. Not having 3 here kind of sucks. I feel like I would maybe be able to win if I had 3. Okay, gotta kill this guy because history has proven that I cannot really withstand that guy confusing me. Lugonu does give me very cheap, very repeatable insta kills, and I sure will take advantage of that because there's few things that a demigod can, or a Demonspawn rather, can say that that it does very well, and I would definitely say that banishing things is one of those few things. If you happen to be a worshipper of Lugonu, using invocations as a whole is like the only really good thing that the Demonspawn has compared to other species. The only other species that comes close to matching them in like ability to worship a god effectively is Helork, I think. Helork also has +3 invocations. I think that I can probably beat this guy, can't I? Okay, I can't. Yeah, if it just starts with that, I'm not gonna be able to beat it. I need it to be close to me and at full HP. Mommy Faith. Oh, Mommy has Faith now. Yeah, I haven't played Mommy in a very long time. Let's see, when was the last time that I played Mommy? I'm actually very curious. It was a year ago, almost June of 2022. So yeah, it's been a year. Haven't played Mommy with Faith. I think that's gonna be interesting, though. I'm pretty sure that their aptitude is still, like their invocation's aptitude is still not gonna be nearly as good as Demonspawn's. So Mommy invocations, it is -1. Yeah, I mean it's not terrible, but you have to keep in mind that Mommy's entire set of aptitudes is completely abysmal. So even something like a -1 that is not normally that much of an issue because your species has plus aptitudes is probably going to be a serious issue for a Mommy. Okay, I have 0 evocations, but this one of mine burst is actually doing some work versus these bees. How did I find Lugonu? Lugonu Temple. Lugonu Temple, right there. Very rare, as you can see. It has a sizable amount of altars of Lugonu, and some altars to other gods, but considering how rare it is to get Lugonu, I just went for it. So here we are, about to get surrounded by bees, because bees in the open are something that has been happening a lot to this character. Okay, this is ridiculous. This is what I am going to do. I'm gonna fear them, and then I'm gonna position myself over here, find that it's a dead end, and re-teleport. Yeah, first time playing new Lugonu. Or, well, I guess it's not really new Lugonu, it's more like nerf Lugonu. We're gonna read Scroll Poison. We're gonna use Attraction. I didn't want Invisibility, that was a typo. I suspect that not a lot of bees will step onto the poison, unfortunately. But yeah, whenever they do, they just like die instantly because bees are super weak to poison. Low HP, high evasion monsters. Um, hmm. This would be a great time for me to be immune to poison myself. Or at least resistant. Hmm. I think that I'm gonna re-teleport again. I just like re-teleport and landed in a bad spot. Yeah, I don't want to deal with that. I'm not powerful enough to deal with that, to be more precise. It does seem like there's a million bees. It is this cavernous layout, which I do not like. I don't like it because I don't like how it looks. I think it's kind of ugly. And it's also full of very open rooms. Definitely a bad combination when there's a million bees roaming the levels, or roaming the level. But I have not found the downstairs yet, so yeah, okay, we found the downstairs. We found 2 bees, and at least I'm powerful enough to not die to 2 bees. I got a rest to full HP. Played safe. Oh, come on. This guy's kinda destroying me. You know what? I have banishment. Oh, wait. Oh. I pressed the wrong button. 84. Okay, goodbye. 84. Do I want to banish this guy? I think that we can try beating it in melee. Okay, we do succeed. Now, we read magic mapping. It lets me know what I already knew. This is a pretty awful death trap bolt. We have gotten a good amount of those, unfortunately. It's not even that terrible, but yeah, I don't want to mess with that. What I do want to get to is this ice cave. It's gonna be nice if I can get to the ice cave. Oh, come on. You know what? I think that guy can definitely deal 17 in a single turn. More bees? I'm starting to get kind of tired of this constant bombardment of nasty things. How to heal wounds? It is over. There's no more heal wounds. The drinking attraction there with that amount of HP was like a very risky move, but for once it's paid off to do something like that. But in general, you should try to avoid very risky moves because I think that risky moves in this game are inherently low reward. And so like high risk, low reward doesn't make a lot of sense. Your reward is just winning the fight when there's a million other ways that you could win a fight with, but with significantly less risk to your character. Oh, come on, another acid dragon. It's been kind of a wild ride. Yeah, this has not been the easiest of characters so far. It's a still pre-layered dungeon, but still. Yeah, it doesn't help a lot that monsters are deciding to hit pretty hard. But at least I have Lugonu to banish everything that I otherwise am completely incapable of beating. Magic mapping changed. It reveals monsters now. It gives you 1 turn of Ashensari's Crying. Like you use it, and the turn you use it, you can see through walls. That's how it is. And then it just goes back to being magic mapping. That goes alongside a name of a rename of Scroll of Revelation. I suspect that this is not gonna work very well. I should just try to banish this guy. Just banish everything, I suppose, is gonna be the strategy for this character today. This is bad. Ah, man, it's so nasty when there's a bolt right in the middle of the level that takes off half of the level. It's so bad. I don't like it. especially when it's like an open level as well. It's very difficult um, to reasonably take care of something like that. In fact, Lugonu has been a huge help here because Lugonu is just like, oh, you failed the hex roll, you're dead. Yeah, look at that. That's pretty good, in my opinion. Distorting Demonspawn. That's accurately describes what my character is doing, indeed. Okay, let's see if I can actually get to the thing. Rhyme Drake. I don't have. Oh, come on. Stop. Stop. I don't need any of that negativity. Man, the abyss is gonna be full of manticores. Oh, if you fail to banish, it malmutates the enemy. Even creatures that resist are left malmutated and weakened by the brush with the abyss. Cool. I still think that it's kind of whack that I just tried to banish the manticore twice at 83% chance to succeed and I failed twice. But at least I got a nice consolation prize. It's better than most hexes. I think that I'm just gonna circ these guys. Otherwise, I think that I'm gonna die. Okay. Do I get 10 shapeshifting? Okay. I almost died to the rhyme drakes. This does feel like one of the weakest characters that I've played in a good time. I want those boots, but I don't want to walk any closer to this vault. But I'm still gonna get the boots and I'm gonna go out of the form. If I'm gonna go out of the form, why do I not just get more of these instead of getting more shapeshifting? Okay. That's a good chunk of extra armor class. I go from 8 to 12 armor class. Worth it. Okay, let's try to not have the ice cave disappear from right below me. That happened to me yesterday. It was kind of very annoying because I was already standing on top of it and it just disappeared. Yeah, I think that I could go through there, but that looks like it could be very bad. I could, on the other hand, use a Skull Fogu to replace the potential clouds, but I suspect that whatever is on the other side of that is gonna be pretty bad because that's how bolt design usually is. Like the cloud generator makes it so that your path to retreat is cut off. That's a really bad thing. Yeah, I mean, I guess I can beat it with my Curare Dart, but I only have one. I think that I'm just gonna banish it. Banish anything that is slightly worrisome or dangerous. Because at the end of the day, banishment is a very powerful ability, and I see that you get it earlier now. It's cheaper, I'm pretty sure. It even gives you upside if you manage if it doesn't actually work. I like that a lot. Yeah, that's a very powerful thing to have for a very low piety cost. Like you get it very early in your worship of Lugonu, but is that powerful enough to be worth going Lugonu with a species that's not a demon spawn? Or a heal orc maybe? I don't know. And definitely not if you already have a god, right? Yeah, so I really want Lugonu to be a thing that you can just get normally in the dungeon. It never really was like that, but the thing is that there was a background that you could just pick and you could get Lugonu instantly. And now there's nothing like that anymore. Okay, I'll use a Potion of Flight. Potion of Flight was also changed into Potion of Enlightenment, so it gives flight and it also gives willpower. I don't think that I've consciously I don't think that I've like adapted to the fact that now you have a willpower consumable. It's an okay thing to have access to, really. Like if you happen to find an early game unique that checks willpower, you can just use that. So having access to willpower from that early in the game is actually a pretty okay thing. Okay, I don't want to deal with all of that like that. I mean, I think that I can beat them, but definitely not in that spot. Potion of 3 here would be great. We do not have that. I don't know how I'm gonna deal with the Death Yak. Yeah. Okay, I'm not at high enough HP to deal with it with the guy. I throw my Kirare Dart and it breaks, and I don't have nets. So we're kind of in a pretty awkward spot now. I have to try to banish this guy, but this guy also is one of the very few monsters, very few animals rather, that has a ton of willpower, so I cannot really banish it. Fear is also unreliable for the same reason. This guy has a ton of willpower, and at this amount of HP, I'm probably just gonna die unless I expend consumable. Last haste or a blinking. I could use teleport, but teleport is either going to put me in a cloud generator or it's gonna put me next to the enemies. Like there's no other way around that. It's pretty much guaranteed. So I don't want to use teleport because of that. Hmm. 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 How do we do this? I think that I'm just gonna drink a haste. Okay, we take a little bit of damage. Could be worse. The immunity lowers its hit dice. Let's give that a try. It's 25 now. Okay, it resists, and now it's 50. You are indeed correct. Okay, I was unaware. That is that new or no? It's not new. It's not new. I have noticed that before because you can like lower the power of spellcasters if you malmutate them, precisely because of the same thing, because lowers the monster's hit dice. Um, okay, that's convenient. It's still, I still do not want to dump that much piety into just dealing with this guy when potentially there's gonna be more right around the corner. I also don't want to waste my haste. I'm just gonna drink a potion of might and tap this guy. Let's see how it goes. Okay, I did beat the guy because who would have expected that the mighty hasted 11 unarmed combat Demonspawn would be strong? Yeah. All right, not bad. Not bad. Taking into account that I just fought a dead yak, definitely not bad. Polar Bears being awkward as only they can be. Sometimes you just one-shot Polar Bears, sometimes they go a bit angry on you. Let's see if I can find some. Okay, found a nice statue, which is not really what I wanted to see. I don't have a port to pull its potions, so I'm just gonna leave it alone. I think that this ending has 2 frost hearts. Okay, that's pretty bad. Immolation would be kinda useful here. Unfortunately, I still do not know about immolation. Okay, I'm just getting destroyed by the frost hearts. Yeah, they have done oh, actually only 3 times. I thought that it was 4 times, but yeah, you remember how I used to have full HP 2 turns ago? It sure was nice to have full HP 2 turns ago. Okay, so now if I reveal any monsters, I'm dead. I'm still kinda dead because the frost hearts are just gonna instantly see me and frost heart me. So I don't like that. I think that it used to be way better when there was a frost giant. A frost giant was way more manageable than 2 frost hearts, especially for a character without the resistance. Um, Normal, like the reason to go into an ice cave is um, partially to get the resistance, right? So it's pretty lame that it completely destroys you if you don't have the resistance. There's a row of resistance right here, but it is not very relevant to my character. Ring of Ice. I guess I shall put that on because what else am I really going to do? I have an Ambrosia, luckily enough. It's gonna regen me a bit, but not enough. Do I read teleport? I don't think that this is it when it comes to the loot, and even then it's a good amount of money that I would like to not leave alone, since after all I do have a reasonable amount of things that I want to buy, not only consumables but also other stuff. I see a Frost Heart. The Frost Heart will hurt me. That's almost unavoidable. I could try to banish it. 75. Okay, so banishing actually works pretty well. Okay, pretty bad teleport, but at least I'm still alive. You guys think that I beat these guys with Circ? I am not sure. I can definitely survive them if I fear. Yeah, fear worked somewhat. Let's go Circ, actually. Yeah, I would obviously prefer not to take such a fight with so low HP, but there's really no avoiding it with monsters that are faster than I am in line of sight. We found ice scales. I am partially interested in those. Also interested in just dealing the death blow to extremely damaged wolf. Sure. The polar bear is normally powerful enough to give me serious trouble, and I was slow. So that could have ended very, very poorly. I'm glad that it didn't. These ice scales will hopefully be helpful for the purposes of dealing with the rest of this place. Hopefully. Yeah, extremely dangerous Frostheart. Meet 3 pips of cold resistance Demonspawn. Ready to low HP for Zerg. Glad you were wrong. Yeah, like in Cirque I deal so much damage that I thought that I was gonna be able to beat them, and I am very glad that I was correct, because otherwise that was it for the run, right? Um, I also thought about like my thought process was not only do I have good damage, but also I'm going to start healing more the more I kill stuff. And since I have good damage, it's like just gonna snowball. That was my thought process, and it kind of did work a bit like that. Right now, like I'm not regening crazily by powered by that. Like I'm not regening as much as I would like to, but it is some regen for sure. We cannot really complain about some regen. It's 1 whole point of regen from powered by death. That's kinda powerful. Okay, unfortunately for this statue I have 3 pips of cold resistance. Yeah, the difference between having the resistance and not having the resistance. Now imagine if I was in beast form. Yeah, I would be losing a good chunk of armor class if I was in beast form, especially having found this cloak of cold resistance. I'm not discarding all forms altogether, but beast form is, I think, significantly worse than the alternative right now. And yeah, having 3 pips of cold resistance sure helps for dealing with frost hearts, especially when it's impossible for you to not be constantly hit by them. Okay. Gonna position. Like I went for what I consider to be safer. My logic there was, okay, I'm gonna get hit by attacks of opportunity, but if I fight here, I'm just gonna get surrounded and die. On the other hand, if I fight here, I'm not gonna get surrounded and die. I would rather get hit by a couple of extra attacks of opportunity, which didn't really happen, in order to secure the better fighting spot, compared to just fighting here and just being hit by 2 death yaks at the same time, which can easily kill me. Row of resistance. I don't think that... No, actually we do mind a bit. We do care about this item a teeny tiny bit. The reason why is because we want We want a source of fire resistance for a volcano whenever we find one. Okay, so we have essentially the same defenses that we have than we had when we entered there, but we have significantly more HP or resistances rather than when we went in there. This looks great. I definitely want to do it, but I also want to buy Scrolls of Identify because I want immolation. I don't have immolation in these shops. I have a good amount of cold resistance, so I'm not afraid of the ugly thing. It sure is nice to not be terrified of ugly things. They're still nasty, like it's not a walk in the park as you can see. Man, this is so awkward. I really wish that I could just tap down two ugly things. Like, I guess one ugly thing is my limit. Okay, 15 fighting. Armor? I mean, after all, I am... Oh no, I'm not wearing ice scales anymore. But I am gonna think about putting them on, and anyway, I have some plate in the floor that I'm considering. Chain plate would be nice to have. This might be useful for ugly things. Okay, the bees. For the bees, I should maybe be wearing the ice scales. It's gonna give me weakness to fire. I hope that is not punishing, but I need the extra armor class. And it is a substantial amount of armor class that I'm getting from the ice scales. I go from 12 to 18 without really a significant hit to my evasion. So they happen to be really, really good. I've always said that ice scales are pretty good for the purposes of offering you defenses. Like they're almost as protective as plate, only having one less base armor class for significantly less encumbrance rating. The encumbrance rating for plate is 18. They're really good. Yeah, they're almost as good as pro scales. Obviously, that comes with the downside of being like the weakness to fire is actually much more relevant than the weakness to cold from the fire scales. I mean, but I mean, I guess for this point in the game, they are okay things to have. Okay. I can probably do all those terrible things that I skipped earlier. My game has been so difficult that I'm about to hit experience level 13 and I haven't gone into there. Yeah, that just means that I have gotten crazy amounts of experience in the earlier parts of the game, you know, the early dungeon, pre-lair dungeon. And the craziest part is that I have not even completed it. I still have not only this level, but another one to clear. I skipped more than only this level, right? Like I skipped, what was it? What was it? What's the level that I skipped apart from D10? Is it D11? Yes, yeah, that. That I still haven't done, and I'm pretty sure that's gonna have a ton of experience for me. If I can clear it at all, anyway. There's no guarantee that I can do that. I didn't get claws, unfortunately. Claws would have been great. I got antennae. But yeah, claws would have been such a huge boon to this character. Not that it really needs it. I already have Powered by Death. I also have Guardian Spirit and Mana Regen, which does give me a good chunk of robustness apart from Powered by Death. If you think about it, getting Guardian Spirit is a pretty okay thing to have because you get it early enough so you don't plan around using mana, and it's just like getting robustness. That's the only point in the game at which I am okay with Guardian Spirit. Like when it's so early that you don't particularly mind that you got Guardian Spirit. But imagine being already established as spellcaster and getting Guardian Spirit. It's not the greatest thing ever. Your vibe is that Bolt will have lower-end enemies. I think that it's very likely. It already has thrown some ugly things at me. Am I supposed to not be able to access that unless I dig it open? I guess so, and we have seen a couple of nasty enemies in there. Might as well just leave that alone for now. Let's see what else we have to do. What other levels we have yet to clear? Okay, I think that the very early levels I'm actually done with. Let's see what D11 has to offer. Yeah, I'm experience level 13 with a Demonspawn. I wonder how much higher experience level I would be if I was not a Demonspawn. This boulder beetle is destroying me super badly. And the worst part is that there's a Cyclops right behind it. I think that if I had Kirare, I would just Kirare this guy, and I would have also Kirare the last guy. But unfortunately, unfortunately, lost my Kirare. I could use Corrupt as well. It's not something that I have considered. Oh, come on. 75% chance to banish and it fails. But at least it didn't make me explode. It had a pretty good chance of just like dealing enough damage that I was gonna be in serious trouble, and it didn't happen. Lugonu welcomes a new guest. Or Corrupted Open, yeah. Corrupted Open is something. One of the greatest upsides of Lugonu is the ability to cheese out certain bolts. Not unlike this one. Yeah. Okay, what if we were acid scales to not give myself crippling weakness to fire? Yeah, because there's a very real possibility of just like fire dragon here out of nowhere. It would still be bad considering that I don't have fire resistance either, but would be way worse if I had weakness. Corrupt is very pricey. I definitely want to save Corrupt for later. The ideal situation is that I get a Gauntlet, because Corrupt plus Gauntlet means that you get literally all of the loot from the Gauntlet. And like that's a very worthy investment. And yeah, this is kind of crazy. Why is there a Deep Elf High Priest in D11? I mean, at least it is in a position where you're very likely to actually fight it in a position like this one. Or in a situation like this one where like it's gonna have a difficult time summoning stuff. It's next to you, so it's not gonna use Damnation, and it doesn't have any support. So like this is probably the best way to fight one of these guys. Like it's so good that I might actually be able to beat it right now and like legit just punch it to death instead of just trying to banish it. I can also always just go for the banishment. Have it fail, it's okay because misshapen. And there we go. We beat the High Priest. And it gives me a Ring of Poison resistance. Very useful thing to have, not gonna lie. I'm very happy about having found one of those. Ichor Stained Hand Crossbow. That's really strong. It's a really, really strong item. I'm not gonna use it, but it's really strong. I feel like if I like launchers, that would be a very high quality launcher to enjoy and make use of. That's probably Josephine's band. Gotta play it safe because the raids are just gonna slow me. So I don't wanna be slowed while Josephina is there. Or Josephine. It's not Josephina. I think Josephine can be scarier than Josephina, depending on the point in the game where she spawns. So you guessed Lair ending enemies? The right answer was depths enemies. Yeah, D11 depths enemies. I guess it's my fault because I knew that this was gonna be a ridiculous bolt, but I was not expecting this. I was expecting a dragon, not a giant. The giant is significantly more powerful because it has fireball. It also hits harder. Man, this is kind of crazy. Okay, like even the troll is scary, and the troll is just like a normal enemy here. Okay, have teleport. Obviously, we're teleporting away from this one. And, well, that was a good run. We are not coming back there until we have fire resistance. Let's go to there. Guardian Spirits plus Granite or Death Talisman is extremely funny. Guardian Spirit plus Granite or Death Talisman. Does Death Talisman can that hit enemies to regain mana or something like weird like that? But yeah, Guardian Spirit is gonna be useful in this specific run. Um, how far away am I from Four Winds? 607 gold, and we have 587, so we're like 1 or 2 stacks of gold away from it. It's not gonna come up a lot in lure, so I'm probably gonna hold on to it for a bit. And the moment that I decide to do that, and like magically I'm gonna generate a million basilisks later in the lure. That's just how it is. No other way around it. That or a gauntlet that's gonna be full of wizards, or maybe the wizard volcano. Okay, the more I think about it, the more reasonable it is to just go buy that the moment that I get access to it and just like put it on. Yeah. See DCSS for context. I shall see DCSS now for context. Ah, massive damage. You take 2 damage and have 2 out of 4 HP. Massive damage. You have 5 out of 19 mana. Okay, I see what you're doing. Yeah, I get it now. I don't think that's a particularly safe thing to do. I would not do that myself, but I think it's funny that you found a way to make it work if you happen to have Guardian Spirits. I sure would like to have some Guardians or some of those talismans right now. It would make me train more armor or like less armor. Yeah, haven't found any talismans other than the starting one. So armor it is, unfortunately. Whenever I start shapeshifters, I am looking forward to shapeshifting, not to train armor and just be playing an unarmed combat character. So yeah, I think it's kind of crazy that Demonspawn only start with enough skill in shapeshifting for 1 point of slaying in your beast form. I think that maybe Demonspawn should get slightly buffed in that regard. Like most other characters get 2 points of slaying from their beast form initially. Why does Demonspawn get to be so weak compared to other characters? I mean, I guess I know the mutations and Demonspawn being so strong later in the game, but come on, let them get to that point in the first place. You got minus potion from some as well, so that sort of mitigates it. Or rather, the downside is mitigated. But what makes you want to go for death form so early in the game? Doesn't sound particularly wise to me. Like I would really not do that kind of thing. You know what I would do, however? Put on some +4 chainmail that the game just threw at me. I am absolutely not gonna complain about that. I'm also gonna just go buy 4 wins already because I can do that. Slow plus weak plus something else. Yeah, slow plus weak plus drain, I'm pretty sure. Oh, unarmed combat base damage 9? That's nice. I like that. Foes struck by users' melee weapons or hands are weakened, slow, and drained. The user can also heal themselves by tormenting foes nearby. Shapeshifting skill increases the amount healed. Wuji and Lonshi always hit first, so you hit them and you slow, weaken, drain. That sounds like a plan. Okay, let's put on the Amulet of 4 Winds. Yeah, I am choosing intentionally not to use this amulet of regen that I have in that shop in favor of 4 winds, just because I have Guardian Spirit plus mana regen plus Powered by Death already. I think that the stars have aligned in order for me to want to use this. So here we are. Okay. Let's go back to Lure. We'll probably swap to Maw for Lure since you do enjoy HP. I had a run yesterday where I found Maw form, and the first fight after I used it with like 9 skill, so it wasn't even like it was nerfing my HP. The first time that I used it, I died. Like the first real fight, because I think I fought like in iguana or something, like something not so dangerous. And then I found a black mamba, an alone black mamba. I had 140 HP versus a black mamba, and the black mamba killed me. And that's the moment where I concluded that Maw form is absolutely a trap, and it is to be avoided with almost any character. Yeah, that item feels so clunky to me. Like, why would you ever use that kind of thing? You know? Um, Mo just got a bug fix. Damage was briefly heavily nerfed by accident. Maybe that's what happened to me. Maybe I was on the receiving end of that. Yeah, all of the defense debuff, but none of the offense buff would indeed make that item pretty terrible. Do I banish this thing? I have 25 armor class. I feel like I can actually tab it for once. Yeah, let's go. It took half of my HP, but I was able to tab it. We got Snake. That sucks. But I think that there's no other way around it. The Poison Branch is just terrible, no matter which one you get nowadays. You get Snake, it's gonna be terrible. You get Spider, it's gonna be terrible. I am still wondering about that game that I had a couple of weeks ago when I had 13 Guardian Serpents in Snake. I wonder if that was like an unfortunate bug or something, or if it was like an intentional change to the branch. In my most recent foray into Snake, which obviously ended in failure, I didn't see a lot of Guardian Serpents. I think that I did see like one or so, maybe two, but not 13. You wanna try Mo, so you're gonna wait till that bug fix hits Kelby before you try Mo. I don't think that I'm ever gonna use Mo again. Like the experience just like tainted my opinion of Mo, and like just made me really think: am I okay with nuking my armor class for just a little bit of extra damage? And the reality is that I don't think so. Like, it really is not my playstyle if you think about it. My playstyle is making it so that I am. There's a lot of lag in the server, if you're wondering why I'm not doing anything. My playstyle is building my characters in such a way that I am not in positions where I can randomly just take a million damage. And it turns out that nuking your armor class is putting yourself in such a position. Ogre Draconian 2. Yeah, maybe with Draconian Ogre, Gargoyle. Okay, what's up with this? Oh, it's crazy. Like, it's just frozen altogether. Like, I am trying to quit. Okay, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm going to restart my console. Wait, I don't have to close it. Oh, it finally started doing stuff. Okay, I saved. Yeah, that was crazy lag. Did you see that? Like, there were so many actions. It was like a whole minute of lag. And I know it was not on my end because frames drop 0. Man, what's up with the server? Oh, I think that I know what happened to the server. Someone was like putting something in the server or something. I don't know. I actually don't know. I suspect that it could be that, but I don't think that the bandwidth of the server would be so small as for that to cause serious issues in the server, but I don't know. Anyway, we're back, and I'm actually able to play now that the lag has completely dissipated. Yeah. I hope that I find some funny forms, because if I don't use funny forms with this character, what even is the point of playing a shapeshifter? You know, I saw Nessos. Nessos has given me a fair amount of headaches throughout my time with Kroll, throughout all the 12 years, at this point, 12 and a half years that I've been playing Kroll. So I decided to just enact my furious revenge and banish Nessos. Also banish the Berserking Sky Shark. I otherwise would have fought it, but I was at half HP, it was Berserk next to me. I don't want to deal with that kind of thing. I would have expected 26 armor class to be enough for it to not berserk, considering that I only have to walk like 3 tiles to the stairs, even while slowed by the torpor snail, but it very clearly wasn't the case. Okay. 26 armor class is actually underperforming. Look at that. I am getting into fights that I think that I should be able to easily overcome because I have 26 armor class in there, and it's not particularly going well. It's not going in my favor. I mean, I guess I'm winning them, but I'm winning them barely. Like, it's getting to the point where it's making me pretty nervous that I am not gonna win the fight. It is definitely quite unusual. Okay, now we got 28 armor class. Little bit of a buff to my armor class. Not gonna complain. And yep, my armor and my stuff in general is definitely more powerful, more desirable than Moform at this point. There was a Randart ring that I didn't get to check. Yeah, I guess that it's over here. It's in one of these tiles. It's in one of those tiles, I'm pretty sure. Alrighty, how are we going to do this? I have digging. I could use digging, but if I use digging, I'm just gonna open up another route for monsters to surround me. Yeah, but like there's so many monsters, I feel like I have to do it. I could also always re-teleport. Yeah, I'm gonna go for it. Just play it safe. I'm not afraid of the Rhyme Drake at all because at least I have a good amount of cold resistance. I have to have something after all. Lots of steam dragons. What's up with this? Is there like some nasty bolt with steam dragons and rhyme drakes or something? Because I think that I've seen bolts like that before. Should I read another teleport? This is bad. Like, apparently my character is not robust enough to be able to deal with this kind of thing, which to me is kind of wild because I have 28 armor class. But I mean, the evidence is overwhelming that I cannot really do this kind of thing comfortably. So teleport it is. Yep. I'm indeed taking damage. I think that I'm gonna die. I do not think that I'm gonna die. But this is pretty annoying. Okay. We finally get a good teleport away from monsters. So we can probably just chill for a bit. Regen to full HP. It would be much easier with an amulet of regen, by the way, or overall a source of regen that is not being in combat. Mo is good. On cats, presumably Octopod. I mean, those are already characters that I wouldn't like to play myself. So it's unlikely that I would be doing melee Octopod or melee cat. But I guess if you're doing that to yourself, a way to make it slightly less miserable is to indeed be in that form. I'm just gonna use Potion of Resistance for this Fire Dragon. We don't get scales. That's okay. Even if I had gotten scales, I don't think that I would have used them, so it's fine. And yeah, I'm sure that there's some like nasty bolt that was broken open or something, because that's the only way to explain all these steam dragons and rhyme drakes. And of course, there was also a fire dragon. So yeah, I think that this could have been skipped, really, and it would have been okay if I had skipped it. Man, I have 7 potions of brilliance. Those are kind of worthless for my character. Of course, I do not have spells, nor do I have any plans to get them. So yeah. Okay, gonna get put to sleep. I'm a bit surprised that I didn't get put to sleep there. Yeah, I was ready to be put to sleep the second that I saw the second dream ship, but there was a moment where I had 5 on the screen and I didn't get put to sleep. And yeah, this is the vault that I was talking about earlier. Full of rhyme drakes and steam dragons, and some pretty bad items, considering that the monsters leaking into the level cost me a whole potion of resistance to kill the fire dragon. I would absolutely say that was not worth it. But since the monsters had already leaked into the level, there was not really much that I could do about it other than just fight them off. Okay, that's the ring that I mentioned earlier. It seems like a pretty okay ring. The main thing that I don't like about it is the -4 strength. The willpower is not that relevant because I have 4 wins. Same goes for the resistance to negative, and I'm already using a poison resistance, so or like a poison resistance ring. So it just seems like a downgrade from my current poison resistance ring, which is kind of crazy because on most other characters I would be very happy to have such an item, but not on this one. Also, I did the entirety of Lair already. Unfortunately, no gauntlet. It's a big shame because I really wanted a gauntlet. What if I put on this ring of evasion instead of the ring of poison resistance? I think that I'm gonna come to regret it, but the 15 evasion is gonna be very useful, and I'm about to get out of Lair anyway, so sure, why not? Okay, so bunch of nasty enemies there. I also saw a Minotaur Shapeshifter of Chebriados. It has a ton of armor class. I don't particularly want to mess with it. It does have a hat for me at a point in the game. Like there's a brief period of opportunity between me getting that hat and like me using it, because I'm eventually gonna lose that slot because I got antennae. So it might be okay for me to just open that and try to fight that guy. But on the other hand, I don't think that I beat the guy. So there's definitely a good amount of incentive for me not to do that. Okay, the Catoblepas is just being very nasty. It's finally trapped me. Okay, we got rid of the Catoblepas, we got rid of the Torpor Snail, and I think that I can probably get rid of everything else now. Maybe I could have banished the Catoblepas, but Catoblepas and Deathyax both have a ton of willpower, so actually hexing them is pretty difficult. Okay, that went very well. I have no idea what changed with this character, because there was a situation earlier where I was surrounded by a couple of not even that nasty monsters and I was not able to do it. Like I was just not hitting them hard enough or frequently enough to beat them. But in this situation, I was surrounded by Jax while slowed by a Torpor Snail, and I still destroyed everything. Pretty bad amulet. Fate is not terrible as a Lugonu worshipper, however. I think that if you banish very liberally, you go through a lot of faith, through a lot of piety. But piety gain with Lugonu, as you can see, is not that much of an issue. Lugonu gets pretty happy when you kill things. I wouldn't even be surprised if Lugonu was to gain more piety from killing stuff, from you killing stuff compared to other gods. I'm gonna Retele because I can deal with the Death Yaks, but not while surrounded and not at less than half HP. Oh, secret part of the level. Or not secret, but I hadn't explored it. For some reason, I just went down. Found an unidentified scroll. I'm gonna read it. I thought that maybe it could be a scroll of acquirement. It wasn't, but that's perfectly fine. If I was to get acquirement with this character, what would I acquire? Or rather, would I acquire money? That's the real question. Would I acquire money? And I don't think that I would acquire money. Yeah, like money was an okay thing to like choose Gosak for earlier on. But now that I have bought pretty much everything that I wanted from those shops, money is not that impactful anymore. I guess that I would hope for a talisman to go back to being a shapeshifter. But even then, like, is a talisman better than what I have for this character? I'm gonna train this to 15. Accidentally overtrained it a bit, and I think we trained this to 16.2. I also have a tower shield. It might be worth thinking about using that. Okay, Catoble pass. 25% chance to hex. Still gonna try it so it gets misshapen, and we beat it. And I'm gonna get strength. The antenna on your head grows some more. That means that it's not really worth it to try to get the hat anymore, because I'm pretty sure that I'm gonna get it, and then like next level up, I'm just gonna get level 3, and that's gonna be a pretty worthless hat. Okay, found some potions of mutation and some very dangerous acid blobs. You guys think that I beat them with acid scales? Nah, it's a very bad idea. It would nuke my armor class. So we are going to go elsewhere. Elsewhere being the orc. Yeah, orc. Hopefully, the rest of the dungeon has a gauntlet for me. I really want to see the gauntlet as a worshipper of Lugonu. It's such a strange occurrence for me to go Lugonu nowadays. That I would really like to get like all that I can get from being a worshipper of Lugonu. That means getting the gauntlet. Okay, the knight does not have a launcher, at least. I still need to break line of sight. Okay, nothing too bad is happening here. Yeah. I have to say that this character, I don't know what happened with the character, because like it was feeling really, really weak, and then I guess that I put on a ring of evasion, and then it all of a sudden it started being pretty strong. Is the ring of evasion really that impactful? Like, are the 5 points of evasion that I got from the ring being that much of a big deal? There's +2 boots, which I already have. +7 chainmail of sin hammering. Funnily enough, it has harm. I don't think that I want to use that chainmail. You love evasion rings on heavy armor characters. It makes sense because it should greatly reduce the amount of damage that you take, since you're compensating for the thing that would most likely make you take the most damage, which is that everything always hits you. You make it so that not everything always hits you, and when things do hit you, they don't hit you nearly as hard as they would hit a high evasion character. So they make a perfect sense on high armor characters. I agree. I think that it would be even better than a Ring of Armor class in this occasion. This Ring of Evasion. Okay, the vocational training shop always has a manual of evocations and a manual of invocations, both of which are highly relevant to this character. Evocations because I haven't trained a bit of it, so I'm gonna get tons of value. Like I'm gonna go from 0 to 13 evasion or so very quickly, very easily. And the other one invocations, well, I'm a Demonspawn of Lugonu. I definitely want to be banishing high level stuff later on, and also have like a guaranteed chance to go in and out of the abyss later on. What if we banish this guy? Yeah, I checked its inventory to see if it didn't have willpower or any very juicy items for me. Unfortunately, it didn't have anything. So here we are, banishing the warlord. Okay. Also glad that the 650 decided that it was not a good day to do anything. I have this plate of fire resistance. I wonder how it would look. 3214 versus 3215, right? 3115. But it gives me fire resistance, which I don't have, as opposed to cold resistance, which I already have. I guess that the tiebreaker is going to be the damage. Right now I have 27, and without that I have 25. So the damage decrease is a bit more than I expected. The 3 points of strength have been of some relevance. But I don't think that I can justify not having fire resistance in this part of the game. Orc sorcerers have Bolt of Fire. That really hurts. They can also summon some demons and stuff like that. This is kind of awkward. There's no real good arena for me to fight all these priests. Yeah, there's no way to break line of sight properly. That's a lot of priests. I'm gonna use the Ring of Poison. Oh, I accidentally read Acquirement. That's funny. I wanted to read a Scroll of Poison. Well, the acquirement is pretty lame. Hopefully there's some interesting items in the shops so I can acquire the money. Anyway, poison and attraction. Well, attraction can wait a bit. I think we put on poison resistance first. And then we drink attraction. And then we pull all those guys into the poison. And then they all die. That's the plan. Alright, plan executed successfully. I was definitely a bit nervous about all of those guys and how that whole thing went when I just took a ton of damage all of a sudden at the very beginning of the fight. But they decided to not smite me much after that, which is pretty nice. Man, this level has so many priests. I wonder what's up with that. Okay. I am very interested in drinking a potion of mutation. Like I've been thinking about that a bit. Sometimes your characters that are not like the strongest characters because of their species can use a little bit of a boost by drinking a potion of mutation. Tree slaying. I like that ring. It's not terrible. I don't think that it's better than the Ring of Strength, however, because I don't need the willpower. If I needed the willpower, I would be very happy to use such an item. But I don't need the willpower. Let's see. Okay, we have a second acquirement. I'm gonna buy that most likely. Also gonna buy the blinking, but not instantly. Potions, I don't care. And the books, I don't particularly care. Okay, let's see what we got here. This is what I'm going to do. I'm gonna acquire money here. And then we're gonna go into 100 gold deficit to buy the second acquirement, and this better be good. Okay, the second acquirement pays for itself, at least. The ring is great. I like that ring a lot. Um, is it a ring worth 900 gold, however? Is it a ring worth 900 gold? You guys think that it's a ring worth 900 gold? By the way, the game said you have 35 gold. What's up with that? Where did my money go? Because I acquired money. Something appears at your feet. Um, Gold. Oh, why was it not picked up? Because my auto pickup is turned off. Okay. Maybe the ring is worth the amount of money that I paid for the scroll of acquirement. But I'm not 100% sure. Anyway, I'm gonna buy Blinking for sure. And I'm also gonna buy a couple of scrolls of Identify because we need to identify some of the items that we have. Maybe I just identify everything because why not? I have an okay amount of money. Nothing too highly impactful, but like at this point, there's not really a lot left to identify that would truly make me excited. Maybe scroll of acquirement. Yeah, okay. Not uncommon for the orc shops to not be very, very high impact. Definitely not an unusual sight. The ring, however, man, that ring is good. But the thing about it is that I don't see what I would like to unequip for the ring. The closest thing to like being a replacement for the ring is the ring of evasion, but I would have to train a lot of evasion, a lot of dodging for that to happen, to work. And yeah, part of the magic of the ring of evasion is that I don't want to do that just now. So maybe later. With 10 unarmed combat and 60 HP, rank 3 against 3 killer bees died despite using a ton of heal wounds and reading fear. Then rank 3, 3 again against 2 killer bees. That's kinda crazy. Never used 3. Somehow you didn't even want to manage to kill one bee in tree form. That sounds like a skill issue. No, but like really, how much fighting did you have? Because maybe you just got really unlucky with evasion rolls. Anyway, that just leads into yet another opportunity for me to say that I like Rift Wizards and its deterministic um, look upon gameplay. Like, you know that you're not gonna get randomly destroyed by stuff. In Crawl, there's never that certainty. For example, I would do literally the same thing you did. Literally, like no difference. And I would most likely die the same way if I got such bad rolls. There really wasn't a lot that you could do about it, and it's just how Crawl is. Sometimes you're supposed to get destroyed by Crawl, which I don't particularly agree with, but that's just how the devs like their game. And that's why I like Rift Wizard a lot, because I agree with what Rift Wizard does a lot more than with what Crawl does. And I don't think that Rift Wizard gets boring or stale because of that kind of thing, which is one of the main reasons why people would say that like a game where you know what's gonna happen gets pretty boring or so. And that's not really the case. I think that even if you know what's gonna happen, you can still be pretty engaged with the game in the form of like thinking about what's like the most optimal move and stuff like that. Yeah. I think that Rift Wizard is another way of making optimal gameplay is fun gameplay into a reality. While also removing a lot of the feel bad moments that Crawl definitely has. I think that I can beat this guy. Let's see what happens. Okay. I think it's very funny that there was a far giant in there. It wasn't really difficult to kill. I suspect that the rest of the gang is gonna be here still. I wonder what wonderful items they're guarding. Are you joking? Were they really not guarding anything? No way they were not guarding anything. I refuse to believe that. Maybe they were not guarding anything. That's kind of crazy. Or maybe whatever they were guarding I already picked up. Maybe the scroll of acquirement that I had in my inventory came from that bolt. I'm gonna choose to believe that, because otherwise, just placing a huge bolt in the middle of a level, surrounded by full of extremely nasty monsters, it's pretty nasty, pretty bad. Um, and I said guarding because the guys that were like the highest level were like at the very dead last, at the end of the vault, and the reward was kind of in the middle of the vault, which doesn't really make a lot of sense to me. Fire Giant is kind of ridiculous. Did items get carried out? Maybe items got carried out. Maybe I picked up the reward and I didn't notice it. That's what I'm saying. People scan streaks, so you assume that there aren't many RNG devs. Optimal gameplay is fun gameplay, nice way to put it. That's the part of the crawl design philosophy. Optimal gameplay is fun gameplay. Because that's what crawl aims to do. The example of optimal gameplay not being fun is NetHack. NetHack optimal gameplay is using your pet to identify stuff and to steal stuff from shops and to be a pacifist and hide behind your pet until you get to the temple and you do protection racket by multiplying credit in a shop and just like getting a bunch of stuff that you buy and sell to the shopkeeper. So you have a lot of money, so you just buy protection from the gods, and that's just like the first like few levels of the game, like the first 6 or 7 levels of the game, and it just like gets crazier from that point. And none of that is fun or engaging or interesting. So Crawl does not do stuff like that precisely because that kind of optimal gameplay wouldn't be very fun. Um, that philosophy is the origin of exploration traps, because what people were doing, like someone noticed that monsters don't step on tiles where there's traps, so they were excluding every tile that is not a tile that a monster stepped on by using an RC file script, and that's why exploration traps are a thing, which I think it's kind of funny. Um, okay. I mean, the bolt wasn't difficult at all, but the reward was also pretty worthless, as opposed to that other bolt that was kind of really crazy, and the reward was not relevant to my character at all. I feel like there's a good amount of characters that would be very happy to get a +9 hand crossbow, but not this one. I don't think I care too much about that ring of cold resistance. Yeah, this character is looking pretty good when it comes to resistances, which I really like. Good defenses, good resistances, and kind of okay damage output. The damage output is probably this character's weakest spot, but I'm kind of working on it. Oh, oh, oh! I think I know what I want to do with that scroll of acquirement. It only just clicked. The scroll of acquirement offers me money, and I want the manual of evocations specifically. Like I want to just train it immediately. So what I'm going to do is finish this level and then acquire money and go buy that manual of evocations and then just turn on evocations. And I think that's going to be a pretty relevant and useful thing very soon. These guys are not nearly as dangerous as they would be if they had generated pre-lair. Yeah, pre-lair this would be an absolute death trap for my character. But at this point this is completely fine. Hopefully some of those guys have curare. I have some curare darts, but it's never enough. I'm gonna put them on the quiver actually, so I can remind myself that I have that as an option. Okay, Orca Bow, Randart, cool. Potions of Mutation. I am interested in opening that and actually fighting those guys, and I'm going to do it. Okay, the glowing shapeshifter was a worm for a good amount of time. I was hoping for it to remain as a worm so that I could easily kill it. Okay, we have 3 mutations. And we have 3 more in the vaults, at least from what I've seen, and 2 more in shops. That's a lot of mutation. I think that it is very reasonable for me to just go for it. Okay, so first, money, because we are gonna use the money. It's a shame. The ring was good, but I think that just getting a manual of evocations is better. Do we have our tier 3 facet yet? I have not gotten a lot more than this. Yeah, I mean, I have level 2 of Icy Scales. By the way, this is gonna give me cold resistance, which is nice. Hello, Will Tarquine. Thank you for stopping by. Ack. Oh, I forgot. You wanted me to play Null. I'll play Null. It was Null Chaos Knight, right? That's not gonna be particularly fun. I'll do it at some point in the near future. Let's drink a potion of mutation, as I said. That's pretty cool. I like having a lot of strength, because a lot of strength translates pretty well to unarmed combat. Just follow some without Chaos Knight, but you act because your stuff ran out. Oh, I see. Thank you for the continued support, Will Tarquine. I appreciate it. I hope that you are getting some use out of the emotes. So yeah, I think that we go to Orc and buy the manual. I'll buy you the manual of invocations later. But for now, we're gonna be training these to 14. I'm sure that the manual will be enough to get me that high. 6 sharpshooter and 4 master archer. I sure can do that. So let's launch local crawl. And ever since then, like the last time I renamed the scene for local crawl, it's this one. You don't think you'll sub anymore, only give subs? Twitch makes it miserable to manage subs. Yeah, I don't recommend, like, if you're not subbing with Prime, I would recommend you to just not sub at all. Patreon gives me a better share. Unless you want to use the emotes. Like, if you want to use the emotes, then you are getting something for real out of the stuff. But if your only objective is to support me, then Patreon achieves that much better. Anyway, Arena. Last time we saw 7 versus 5, and now it's 6 versus 4, right? You have Prime, so you have a freebie every month. Yeah, thank you for your continued usage of Prime. I really, really do appreciate it. Takes some like commitment to actually give your Prime to someone every month, like consistently. Remember to go every month and just use it. It's pretty cool, and I really appreciate it. Anyway, let's see. Gifting Patreon is good. Yeah. What was the thing that I was doing? Oh yeah, prediction. Start prediction. So who wins? Nagas or elves? 5 minutes. Did I set it to 5 minutes? I think I did set it to 5 minutes. Yeah, the timer is going down very slowly. So it's there. I'm not gonna run the prediction, or I'm not gonna run the command until until the 5 minutes have passed. Let's go back to crawl tiles. And now let's go do more of the dungeon. Used to be a lot easier to use set prime stuff, but now it looks to be an extra step or some stuff. Yeah, like that's very intentional. I think that it is very despicable how the sign for things in general on the internet is moving away from just making the things more usable, more usable or more convenient to use for the people. It's more like making it so that it's likely for people to mess up and do stuff that they were not intending on doing. Like, for example, I've heard that I've heard that in Amazon, like some changes are very intentionally designed so that people have a hard time canceling their Twitch Prime, and some people get multiple Twitch Prime, or like not Twitch Prime, but like Amazon Prime and stuff. Oh, talking about Amazon Prime, I also wouldn't be surprised that I wouldn't be surprised if Twitch Prime was removed or reworked at some point, just because of the. I guess this is my fault. Yeah, whatever. At this point, just because all that money that is going to the streamers is not going towards Amazon and that kind of thing. I don't like having -6 dexterity. That is actually kind of bad, so I guess I'm gonna drink more mutation. Okay, I don't like strangely shaped body. That's pretty bad. I don't like any of that. Oh man, minus regen with this mutation, that's unbearable. Yeah, that's absolutely, we're not gonna do that level. Okay. Well, I guess that overall we came up ahead. No complaints. We have 1 potion of mutation, 2 more in shops, I think. Yeah, let's drink the last one that I have. Let's see what happens. I got teleportitis and cold resistance. Teleportitis is kind of bad, so let's just go ahead and get another potion of mutation. And I think that's just gonna be where I call it when it comes to using potions of mutation. I don't have enough money for both of them. Interesting. Yeah, I don't think that I want to use more potions of mutation. I still have teleportitis. And clarity for what that's worth. I don't have shows, so clarity doesn't really do anything. What is this? Oh, it's a rendered hand axe. Okay. Dark patterns. The FTC is suing Amazon over their author renew and difficulty to cancel Prime. Potionitis. Yeah, minus potion was pretty bad. Or do you mean that I'm just like compulsively drinking potions of mutation? Because that is also what's happening. Usually the fine will be nothing to Amazon. Yeah, that's unfortunately how it is when it comes to those fines. Personally, I think that any kind of fine that is applied to a company should be applied in percentages of their maximum revenue, not earnings. Just like or what is it? Net worth. Yeah, like in their maximum net worth. That's the only way to like truly put a dent on these um, businesses that can just pay the fine and like dismiss it as business expense. You make it so that it's drastic enough that it cannot be dismissed as a business expense. But I don't think that kind of thing will ever happen. Anyway, um, let's go back to playing Crawl. Yaktar. Yaktar without a launcher, so it's a shapeshifter, obviously. Yeah. I don't like this. It sure was nice to have 37 strength for a little bit there. It was kind of like being a troll or a nogger. But yeah, that's too many monsters. Oh, enormous slime creature. Yeah. It's gonna get attacks of opportunity on me. This could have been an issue, but fortunately they broke apart very quickly. Okay, as long as you're surrounding me and you don't pile up, I can deal with you. Let's go. So yeah, I still have teleportitis. The moment that I have another potion of mutation, we're gonna drink it to get rid of the teleportitis because that's a pretty bad thing to be in the receiving end of. I have one. I should go buy it. It's just that I don't have money to buy it. Well, now I do. Skeletal warriors. 2 pole arms. That's pretty bad. I don't think that I can beat 2 pole arm skeletal warriors. Maybe if I have this excellent choke point, I can beat them all three. Yeah, without that, I wouldn't have been able to do it. That was literally perfect for my needs at the moment. Thank you, Giant Slime, for taking a turn to split into. Yeah, otherwise I would have had to use a consumable. I'm glad that it decided to split apart. Who said that randomized energy was gone? Haha. It unfortunately only works with the slimes, but yeah, you can hope that they lose a turn like that. Um, uh, the um, the risk-reward balance on doing that, however, is very skewed against you, because the alternative to that is that the slime hits you with an attack of opportunity, and if it's a slime large enough that you don't want to fight it, it's probably gonna hurt. D13 was pretty easy. We're about to hit experience level 16 on a Demonspawn. Unusual. Hit the Hydra. I have a million armor class, so the Hydra doesn't really hurt that badly. It still left me hurting a good amount. Doesn't help that my Powered by Death didn't trigger, so now I have low HP. Curare. Okay, there we go. Could have been much worse than what it ended up being. This level has so much, or so many Hydras. I'm a bit surprised. I didn't see any Hydras in there that I can think of. And yeah, it's a good thing that this character is an okay character. After the first one died in literally D1 because I was fighting so many monsters at experience level 1. This one has been going much better. Okay, Josephine. So earlier when I saw the two raids, I thought that it was really gonna be Josephine, but it wasn't the case. And I got willpower. Cool, demonic willpower. The more the game goes on, the least reason I have to use 4 winds, because not only do I have demonic willpower now, so like that's impossible to remove, I also have a million sources of willpower other than that. Oh, this guy's poking me with a spear of venom. Man, that's so nasty. Am I at risk of dying to you? I think so. Wow. Ruth. That invisible ogre mage was surprisingly dangerous for surprisingly unusual reasons. Like they're almost never that scary. At least not when you have a million willpower. Evocation is at 11. The manual is definitely putting in some work, compensating for the fact that I'm a demon spawn. Okay, so explain to me how the ogre mage managed to almost kill me with poison, and then I fight an ugly thing and a very ugly thing, and they don't even manage to poison me. Variance is pretty crazy in this game. Yeah, I don't think that I'll ever cease to see that as a problem, as something that I would personally fix. But the reality is that it will never change. Like I think that any kind of change to crawl to make it so that variance does not like make fights that would be otherwise pretty much trivial into extremely dangerous fights. Um, like I don't think that any change that would make it so that variance like that goes away will ever happen because it's just too difficult to put that in crawl. It would have to be a completely different mode or something like that, and I don't think that anyone wants to develop that. I mean, I guess I would like to, but I don't know how, and I don't think that I am interested in acquiring those skills. So I guess it's okay. Oh, did the fight happen? Oh, I completely forgot about that. Thank you for reminding me. Let's roll the fight. So it was 6 sharpshooter versus 4 master archer. Oh, bicep times 3. We're not gonna do ×3. We're gonna do ×9. Let's see what happens. Okay, so far it's kind of even. No, the Master Archers are gonna win this. Yeah. It really is a matter for the sharpshooters to burst down the Master Archers before the Master Archers start doing that to the sharpshooters. And I think the Master Archers are more likely to do that consistently, you know? Okay, they're 1-1. Okay, the sharpshooters are actually winning. It's kind of surprising. The other day that we ran 7 sharpshooters versus 4 or versus 5 master archers, it was much more even than this. Um, okay, the master archers won that one. Wow, this is pretty even. I'm a bit surprised. But yeah, it is a matter of whether or not the sharpshooters can kill the master archers within the first couple of turns, because if they can't, the master archers definitely kill them faster. Wow, okay. Okay. This could be match point for the sharpshooters. Yeah. I wonder if 5 master archer versus 6 sharpshooter is the right way to go. Okay, yeah, the sharpshooters are gonna win. Or, oh, okay. Okay, for a second there, that one master archer was making a comeback. That was kind of exciting. Yeah, I mean, I don't blame you for going for 20k on the Master Archers, because like it really could have gone either way. Look at that. This time the sharpshooters didn't kill the Master Archers and they just got destroyed. Yeah, I told you. It's the first 2 or 3 turns. If they don't kill a Master Archer within that time window, the Master Archers just win. Okay, so it was 6-3 in favor of the sharpshooters, surprisingly. I didn't think that they were gonna win. But choose outcome. The Nagas won against all odds. Now that we can go back to actually playing the game. You're pretty surprised. I'm also pretty surprised. Oh, teleportitis. That was a nasty moment for teleportitis to trigger. I was barbed, so I had to make a run to the stairs. Took a lot of damage by doing that. I should stop training invocations. I'll train more of that when I can buy the manual. For now, I want to go for unarmed combat. Yeah, I do want my 16.2 unarmed combat for bolts. You have 29.5k points, just waiting for 50k. Spriggan Shapeshifter of Trog is coming. I don't think that will be that terrible. You know, I don't like Trog and I don't like Spriggan, but I do have some interest in trying that specific combination because it's a bunch of things that I don't really play that often. Wow, yeah, late dungeon had so many Hydras. Way more than Lair. I think that in Lair I saw like 0 Hydras actually, now that I think about it. I should be grateful, because Hydras kinda suck. Okay. You know what I have for these guys? I have a Wand of Roots. And with my newly acquired ability to use evocations, yeah, that's just gonna speed up the process of beating them. I didn't really want to risk it too much. That's why I used the Wand of Roots to soften them up a little bit, because there were a lot of Skeletal Warriors, and I guess that I do have a little bit of resistance to negative, but still, the damage from those things can really pile up. It's not a bad idea to be careful when it comes to Skeletal Warriors, I think. And we're done with Dungeon, Lair, and Orc. Much to my dismay, because now comes Swamp or Snake. Yeah, as a character that doesn't fly. I wonder if Spriggan Shapeshifter is really gonna be that bad. I think that it will be bad just because inherently Spriggan is not good. Like it's not fun to play a Spriggan, or at least I really consider it not to be fun. If you play it optimally, like nothing can kill you, but then you're also running away from literally everything that happens to hit you once. And yeah, I don't find that enjoyable. I think that it is a pretty boring play style. I can't believe that at some point Spriggan Enchanter was something that the experienced players recommended to the new players. I'm glad that such a thing is not done anymore. Mm, yeah, this is a pretty bad fight. I should probably just re-teleport. I wanted to get out, but I should probably just re-teleport. Okay, can I be in a spot where I can fight one thing at a time? Okay. I was actually not sure if I was gonna be able to beat that Thorn Hunter, not gonna lie. Was Enchanter stronger back then? Yes, for sure. For sure. I can confirm that Enchanter was stronger back then. Um, Enchanter used to have it used to have Confuse. Confusing Touch was also a thing that existed. It used to have invisibility in the starting book. It was so much more powerful. The history of Crawl is kind of the history of nerfing things that are good. That's just like the unfortunate nature of Crawl. If something is too weak, it takes a good amount of time for it to get buffed. If something is too strong, it usually gets nerfed rather quickly. A good example of that is Manifold Assault. Manifold Assault Dragon Form didn't take very long for that one to get nerfed. Enchanter is Brigand without darts. Yes. You can't recommend an enchanter to any player. In what version was it strong? You're gonna try to play it just for curiosity's sake. I started playing Crawl in 0.8, and that's the point in time at which that was one of the most recommended things. The most recommended thing was Deep Dwarf Earth Elementalist, and that's what I won my 3 rune and my first 3 rune and my first 15 rune with. By the way, it was difficult to win a Deep Dwarf 15 rune as a new player, really. Um, and then I played Spriggan Enchanter, and I only won because of Nemelex. Like, that character taught me that the goal of playing an Enchanter is to stop being an Enchanter as soon as possible. If you ever wondered where all of my deep hatred for Enchanter comes from, it comes from that character. Okay, took a while for me to teleport, but we teleport. Hopefully to fight only one thing at a time. I really don't want to be fighting multiple things at a time. It's very dangerous. Third acquirement, Ring of the Tortoise. Plus 8 chainmail of flying. That's a very useful item specifically for the current situation, funnily enough. The Lajatang is really strong as well. I don't like the Rage, but I think that the Ring of the Tortoise is probably the greatest item here. Let me take a look at my rings real quick. We have a Ring of Evasion and a Ring of Strength. We could take off the Ring of Strength, reduce the damage, but we get 40 armor class. I like the idea of having 40 armor class, not gonna lie. I feel like that sounds pretty good. By the way, after training that, I should train some dodging, like 10 dodging. So yeah, I think that we're gonna do that right now. The Ring of Strength was useful for a good amount of time, but now we have to remove it in favor of greater defenses. Yeah, look at that, 40 armor class, 13 evasion. Unfortunately, removing the Ring of Strength also nerfed my evasion a bit. We're never using this. Yeah, the normal Ring of Poison Resistance, for some reason, is better. It's so weird that a normal Ring of Poison Resistance is better than a Randard Ring of Poison Resistance, but that's the character that we have today. 3 scrolls of brand weapon, completely worthless for an unarmed combat character. I wish that I had claws, by the way. Claws would make this character very, very powerful. Recently I played a Demonspawn that got claws, and I think that I was casting statue form or something with that Demonspawn. It was a nice character. Potion of I guess that I don't have. Oh no, I do have an enlightenment. Man, I don't like the rename of the item. I agree with the rename of an item if the item's function is going to change fundamentally. But I got like it's been years for me that I've been like playing crawl and I'm just looking at my inventory, searching for potions of flight. I don't think that I need to search for potions of enlightenment now. Anyway, this Goliath frog has dodged my 3 darts. Very unfortunate. It doesn't. Oh no, it has a ton of evasion apparently. A frog of exceptional size for a frog, and it is very small compared to cane toads, which is very funny. Cane toads are um, cane toads are larger, I think. Are they larger? Let's actually see. I think that Goliath frogs say that they're very small. Yeah, exceptional size for a frog, still very small. Um, Cane toads are they don't have a size, so they are like they're smaller than large. I'm pretty sure. Unlike its smaller above ground relatives, this dungeon dweller is the size of a wolf. Okay, it's a good descriptor. Do I use my last teleport? Man, I feel like I'm just gonna almost inevitably die here. I think that I should use my last teleport. The Goliath frog resists with significant effort. Ah, yeah, I forgot that I had not cleared this level. Okay, I don't like Swamp. Swamp is destroying me today. I also don't like the fact that there is a bug body. I have cold resistance, but it's only 1 pip of cold resistance. I'm 40 armor class. I suspect that it's not gonna be of much help when it comes to dealing with these guys. One of roots. I don't think that does much on top of deep water. Yeah, so I'm not gonna do it. I don't have teleport anymore, so not teleporting. If I want to reposition, which I do, my only option is blinking. Flying over the deep water doesn't work because 2 swamp worms, and I don't have a good way to deal damage to them in an area. A very awkward position. I guess that I do have heal wounds at least, and might. And then I can punch the bug body, and then I can punch everyone, and wow. It turns out that if you're dealing a lot of damage, these fights become easier. That's part of the reason why I'm training on armed combat. I like these globes a lot. Yeah, I'll take the loss of armor class for the resistances. You know how much I like resistances personally. So we get poison resistance, 3 strength and 2 dexterity. The 3 strength is definitely pretty nice. 2 dexterity is also really useful. Okay, I guess that I'm gonna make that thing explode. Wow, it killed the 2 Goliath frogs. I guess that's the magic of doing something that doesn't check evasion when it comes to dealing with those guys. Should keep in mind that I have a couple of charges of roots and a good amount of evocations skill to use one of roots versus those things. It would also be nice if I found some experience evocables. So yeah, Anyway, so far, my experience with Demonspawn Shapeshifter has been that I wouldn't really recommend it. Um, or when I started, I didn't really know, but Demonspawn starts with such little shape-shifting skill that it only starts with one slaying, and you generally are not gonna start just training shape-shifting. You're gonna start training on armed combat because that has such a significant impact on your character. Like it is worth a lot more um, than training shape-shifting, especially if you only have the starting talisman. So yeah, because of that, I wouldn't really recommend Demonspawn Shapeshifter. I don't know why it is recommended. Um, you think something being OP can make the game less spicy because player will go for it every time they have a chance? Yes, and that can get pretty dull at time. I think that the game should be in a way that there's a pretty good variety of things being strong enough that you can actually go through the game using them. Um, that's the reason why I like Stone Arrow that much, because Stone Arrow is one of those very few things in the game nowadays that essentially guarantee that I'm like not gonna suffer through the earlier parts of the game. Um, and I say essentially guarantee because, like, worst case scenario, like I miss a couple of stun arrows, and that's bad, of course. But it's not like the feeling of absolute impotence that you get when you are a Venom mage and you find an undead. And unfortunately, undead are still extremely common in the very earliest parts of the game, precisely the point in the game where you absolutely cannot do anything versus them. Um, that's what I mean. Like with Stun Arrow, Stun Arrow is a tool that you can actually use to kill everything. That's why I really like it as much as I do. By the way, I hope that the Bonjib does not make me explode, because it's a mighty Bonjib. Okay. Dodging. If something is underpowered, players just avoid and do different things, so it's not a big deal. I think that it is a big deal precisely because of that thing that I just said before finishing your comment. Um, I like Stun Arrow because Stun Arrow is like the one bastion of hope that I can get with a character. Like if I find Stun Arrow, I can be like, okay, I'm probably gonna be able to go through the early game without this character being completely miserable. Something that I cannot really say for Ice Magic, for example. Like I guess Ice Magic is okay if you don't start with it. But if you start with it and if you're training for it, then what's gonna happen inevitably is that you're gonna find undead and they're gonna hurt you and it's gonna be pretty bad. Because you're not gonna be able to kill them. Same goes for Poison Magic. Both of those things are really, really good things to have for as complementary things, but they're not really good at all for the purpose of starting the game with them. I would like to teleport away from Donald, but you know what? It's Donald and Mara. I think that it makes a lot of sense to corrupt here. Yeah, like I think that we're gonna get a lot of value out of doing this. Um, this would be where I would bend space to move away from all of these guys, but I can't bend space, so I'm just gonna sit here waiting for them to move away so that I can move away. Mara dies, okay. Yeah, of course Mara was gonna die. Look at this Abyss convention. So packed that I cannot move. I'm glad that I didn't die to my own summons, because that can happen. Okay. Yeah, had you never seen Corrupt? Corrupt is crazy powerful. Um, it's one of the strongest abilities, god abilities in the game. The downside is that the things that you summon are not particularly friendly. They're also not hostile, so they're like not all gonna attack you, but they're not your allies. You cannot displace them. You can make them mad very easily. Um, so yeah, it can be pretty scary at times. You have never seen Corrupt with that much imbo? I only have 13, which is the funny part. Usually you have enough space to walk away. I think that part of that was the fact that I was in a rather cramped space. Maybe if I had been in the open, it would have been much more easy for me to walk away from that. Wait till we get to slime. Wait till I buy that manual of invocation because I definitely will do that. We are 800 gold, 850 gold away from it. 840. Okay. So Swamp 4. I still have teleportitis, I'm pretty sure. So teleportitis could kill me. I hope that it doesn't. I have one. Oh, I have 4 scrolls of teleport. Man, the game can be pretty generous with scrolls of teleport. I wish it was the same with scrolls of blinking, that you use a scrolls of blinking to the point where you're down to 1 scroll of blinking and then the game just bombards you with scrolls of blinking. I would search here if I had it, but I don't have it. So I guess we can kill the alligator, then kill the Eleonoma that's hurt. Come on. And then kill the other Eleonoma, and last and definitely least is the Swamp Dragon. We are not particularly afraid of that guy. Now that I think about it, it might not be a terrible idea to put this on the quiver. Hadn't really thought about doing that, but it makes a lot of sense, since the clouds definitely hurt. Yep. Just a teeny tiny bit of extra damage. Complementary damage at a low opportunity cost. Maybe the Steam doesn't do a lot versus Will-O-Wisps. Okay, I know that that is one of my favorite endings for this place. I'm just gonna go for invisibility and enlightenment so I can float over the water, and I'm gonna go around and I'm just gonna go in there, and I am going to read a scroll of immolation, and everything is gonna die and it's gonna be great, and I'm not gonna die. Wand of Light to kickstart the process. Okay, that didn't really work very well. Let's go for Wand of Roots instead. Okay. Funny, funny. But it hasn't killed everything. However, things will be dying in the next couple of turns. This is a much, much easier way of doing this than just letting all of that wander out. Yeah, the power of Scroll of Immolation. It's one of my favorite items in the game for a reason. Oh, Teleportitis scams me from, or like not scammed me, but like roughed me from getting the rune. Not that it matters. I achieved my goal of getting rid of all those things before they could wander out of their jar. If you think about it, it's like a big jar. This Hydra then. Okay, that's rune number 1. Now we get rid of some Tyrant Leeches without really a lot of complications. I have noticed that Powered by Dead is barely triggering. I wonder if it got seriously nerfed for the first level of it. I hope that I get the second and third levels soon, because this first level has barely been doing anything. It's not something that I can really rely on as much as I thought I was gonna be able to. Okay, I should probably not be standing on top of the water if I want to tap this guy. And I can definitely tap that guy. I think that the scary part of a tentacle monstrosity is A, it's as support, functions very well as support for other things, and B, it can circ, and if it circs, it's actually a really scary melee monster. But if it's alone, it's like whatever. It's egg-shaped, like all the Hydras hatched, lol. Strangely enough, you can find a 0.8 or 0.9 build for Crawl. You wonder if they're lost to time. If you have access to the Roguelikes Discord, you should ask there. I wonder if you can play it online. Just check real quick. Oh, look at that. Actually, it doesn't seem that you can play older versions. I wonder if they were cleaned up from the server recently. Yeah, because there used to be a button that you could press for earlier versions, and you could play 0.16 and stuff like that. Huh, weird. Yeah, anyway, my advice here would be to ask in the roguelikes Discord. Lugonu is nice best for Tomb as well. You tried on Akrasiak and CBO too, and the same thing. It's a shame. I doubt that it is completely lost to time because until recently, I think that you could play it in the servers. Anyway, 0.8 was a version where Nevelex could get you unlimited portal bolts, and by extension, unlimited experience, and unlimited acquirements and unlimited items. It was extremely broken. Lugonu is nice, best for Tomb. That sounds like a plan. Like, I guess that one could go Tomb and just corrupt Tomb 3 and let the Abyssal dudes deal with all the trouble. After all, they mostly cannot be tormented, as far as I'm aware. So that's the greatest strength of the mummies neutralized. I might try that. Yeah. We have a rune, and we have willpower and cold resistance. No resistance to electricity. So I guess we can go to bolts, but thunderhooks are gonna be painful to deal with. Anyway, bolt sentinels, I don't think that they're gonna be able to hex me. I have 5 pips of willpower. Oh, serpent talisman. So I could go for serpent talisman. Oh man, that sounds very enjoyable. Serpent talisman with the ring of the tortoise sounds like a plan to me. Yeah, I wonder how bad it's gonna be because it's gonna melt all my resistances. I'm gonna give it a try for a bit, and I'm gonna hope that it doesn't kill me literally in the first fight, the same way that Maw Form did yesterday. .8 when mountain dwarves with large shields were OP. Yeah. Anaconda form unarmed combat. Yeah, literally unarmed combat. Haha. Devoid of arms, indeed. Beast form should really be bear form, so you can bear arms monsters. I feel like that would be pretty funny. I suspect that wizard would be a difficult thing to kill if I was in Anaconda form. At least Anaconda form wouldn't melt my willpower. So the forms work with Ru. In what way? What do you mean by that, Ritrin? I haven't tried the form user of Ru anyway. If you mean like losing an arm or something, it definitely works. Works not unlike most other things with Ru. What do you have? Polearm? Man, they're mighty. Mighty orcs are a really scary sight to see. I'm not powerful enough to deal with this. I'm gonna want the roots and hope that it's enough for me to walk away. It did let me walk away from some of these guys. I can just banish this one. Okay, you're the one with the polearm. Oh no, you're the one with the battle axe. Okay, I'm just gonna banish this one. And I think that I might be able to beat the other ones, but I still want to just use one of the roots and disengage. Okay. We're good. Man, one of the roots is bad in the early game, but the more the game goes on, the more powerful it gets. It even makes me think that I wish Wonder Roots was a thing that like wasn't mutually exclusive with Wonder Vice Plus, because Wonder Vice Plus is really good early on, and Wonder Roots is pretty good at this point in the game, once that you have already trained a decent amount of invocations. So for Serpent Talisman, I need 9, right? Yeah, I need 9. And with 9 I get 9 armor class. And for 20 I get 12 armor class. I mean, I understand why the bonus is pretty minimal. It's so that you get something, but you don't just like use Serpent talisman for the whole game. It's supposed to be a stepping stone for higher level talismans that you may find later on. But what if you don't find anything? That's been the history of this character. He started as a shapeshifter, and I only just found my first non-starting talisman. So here we are. Yeah, here I am wearing a good armor and the ring of the tortoise. Am I leveling shapeshifting? Yes, I'm training shapeshifting. New patch that breaks the stuff. Not really. Like, um, Crawl like rarely actually breaks the stuff, especially because these kinds of things are tested in experimental branches before making it to trunk. Um, So yeah, the shapeshifting skill is very simple. No. How do you do this? Help with shapeshifting. Shapeshifting enables the use of magical talismans to change oneself into other forms. Sufficient skill allows one to use more powerful forms without gravely damaging one's strength or one's health. Being skilled in shapeshifting also makes most forms somewhat stronger, in which vary between forms. This is like there was a split between the form spells and the transmutations skill, which still exists, though some people suspect that it's not going to be there for much longer, myself included. That this is not magic. That's the most enjoyable thing of this. That this is not magic, and by extension, you can be a troll berserker and you can still use this kind of thing. By the way, this guy's gonna kill me unless I use attraction. I'm glad that it was alone, because if it hadn't been alone, I probably would have died. Um, so yeah, it's pretty cool that it's not magic. It doesn't scale with intelligence. It only cares about the shape-shifting skill. So I like the change a lot, precisely because of that kind of thing. It used to be that shapeshifters used to be pulled in a bit too many different directions. Like you wanted intelligence because you wanted to cast the spells, and you wanted to train transmutations, and you wanted to get strength so that your unarmed combat actually did good damage. But you also needed dexterity because the forms usually made it so that you didn't have a lot of defenses or HP. Or well, defenses really, not HP is not really something that was diminished by forms. Now it's much better because you don't need intelligence anymore, and the shapeshifting skill. It might be very difficult to train for a lot of characters, but it is cheaper in general than training spellcasting and one or two other schools, or well, spellcasting, transmutations, and one or two other schools. So yeah, it's a big buff to something like Troll. Troll Shapeshifter is really strong. Like you find statue form with that, and it's a game changer. It's crazy strong. Before it used to be that the only way for Troll to be like crazy beyond the earliest parts of the game was to find gold scales or something similarly insane like that. Now you can find statue form or dragon form or storm form, and you can use those given enough training, of course. And you can train for them because like it used to be pretty much impossible for trolls to cast the spells. Um, but those are those are not spells. Mm, mm. So if you're wondering why I just like suddenly started exploding out of nowhere, um, there was a Thunderhook there which dealt damage once. How did I not have resistance to electricity for this point in the game, I suppose? You have too much willpower. Oh, you don't? Why do you not have a ton of willpower? You're a deep elf. Okay, might as well get rid of that. Ice Giant held up board a lot with Cold Bolts too. Yeah, the Cold Giant did get a hit on me, like a good one. But I attribute that mostly to the Thunderhook. Like, if there was no Thunderhook there, I would probably just be able to beat everything. Thunderhook make things too awkward. Fortunately, it positioned itself in such a way that I could just vanish it. Um, maybe go to depths first. I don't agree with that. I could go to my second lure branch, and I really hate doing the poison branch, so I don't really want to do that. Um, Depths, I think, is gonna have more of the same pain and suffering that I am experimenting here with storm dragons and mages with electricity and stuff like that. Oh, finally level 2 of Powered by Death. Now I'm actually gonna start healing from kills. Okay, let's see what we got here. Oddly shaped bolt. But it's gonna give me some nice loot, I suppose. Guardian Spirit, marked as useless because I already have that. Serpent's Talisman. 9 Shapeshifting. What if I use this? Okay. To begin with, my defenses are annihilated. And then my resistances are also annihilated. Why would anyone do this? My damage increases a decent amount, however. Base 10 plus 16 unarmed combat. Um, I think this is gonna get me killed, but at least I hit super hard. Yeah, it's actually pretty okay damage increase, but very risky. Yeah, very risky. I don't want to do this. Let's just be a Demonspawn with 38 armor class, because at the end of the day, I do like having 38 armor class. What if what if I was a cat? I suspect that if I was a cat, I wouldn't be at this point in the game. Hey, look at that. The scariest single monster to find if you don't have resistance to electricity. Anyway, I have File of Floods, so it's not really that scary. I also have training, so it's not gonna be like it's gonna become on water locked in 2 turns. Hmm. Okay, so in snake form I had 48 or so damage. It was actually pretty okay. In demon spawn form I have 33, unfortunately. It's pretty low. Okay, Nicola is not warlocked anymore. Scroll of Silence. How bad of an idea is that? It's not that bad. Scroll of Silence. Yeah, I think that like it is much more of a priority to just make it so that Nicola does not kill me here. We go for Zerg because I felt like I needed one turn to actually buff with all of the things that Zerg provides. Controlled Zerg is a good thing. Like I really like Controlled Zerg. Uncontrolled Zerg is the annoying thing. Well, this is a bit of a shame. Why are these guys here? Fogo? Oh, come on. Man, I do not like it when Scroll Fogu is that bad. That was a pretty bad usage of Scroll Fogu. Not for because of any reason that I could have done better. It's just that the clouds generated in such an awkward spot that I moved twice and I was still in line of sight of the Yoktar. Not much to do about it. You wonder how good is Octopod Shapeshifter? You mean Warper? Or do you mean Shapeshifter? Transmutations is the weirdest power curve in the game. You struggle, 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 find statue form and become unstoppable. Oh yeah, like Transmuter. Yeah, I don't think that starting as a Transmuter was ever really good. Like ever since Sticks to Snakes was removed from the game, that spell was super busted. But like it is completely understandable that it got removed. It was impossible to balance. But ever since then, like that was a huge power vacuum in Transmuter. Like pretty much the whole reason to start a Transmuter was removed with that removal. And Shapeshifter does it much better, in my opinion. Shapeshifter gets a form now that melts the entirety of your auxiliary armor slots, but on the other hand, it gives you. I hope that these guys do not hit me a lot. On the other hand, it gives you slaying that scales with the amount of skill that you have, up to 7 slaying at 10 skill in shapeshifting. And it is a slaying, it's not like extra damage or anything for your form, so it is pretty useful. I'm gonna read Fear. Really don't want these guys to be to be convoking. Okay, that guy almost convoked. Yeah, convoking there would have been kind of a big issue. My damage is low. I don't like how low my damage is. This would be a great time to find a better shape-shifting form, but unfortunately I still do not have that. I'll stop training shape-shifting. It's about to hit 10. I had my stop at 10, so we're just gonna train some dodging now. You still remember the transmitter that exploded degen potions? Yeah, that was a Stalker. Stalker was a transmuting background that started with Evaporate, Fulsome Distillation, and like some stealthy stabby stuff. It was pretty busted. Yeah, because Clouds of Miasma on a level 3 spell is kinda ridiculously strong. And even if you didn't get Clouds of Miasma, which you could get by bottling up corpses like ghouls and stuff like that, you could still get potions of water, which you could evaporate and deal a little bit of steam damage, in addition to getting the steam effect of blocking line of sight. Man, that was so busted. If you near 1000 are still here and you want to think of things to try from Old Scroll, that's another really busted thing that you can definitely enjoy. Okay, these guys do not care about the poison. That will soon be their undoing. Okay, the scroll poison there was very helpful. I thought that I needed the extra area of effect damage to deal with them. Give back old poison mage. You mean with ignite poison? Because ignite poison on the Venom Mage book was so busted. Oh, Baisushen and Senata. Hey, look at that. Time to corrupt. If there was ever a time to corrupt, it's when the game summons Baisushen and Senata. And yeah, this time it didn't really place that many monsters, so it was really just a matter of the fact that I used it in a much more cramped spot last time. I don't have the resistance, so Baisushen could seriously hurt me. She doesn't have poison resistance. I'm gonna hope that she doesn't zap me here for one turn, and I'm gonna cure out of her. And she doesn't get slowed. Does she have poison resistance? See, this is the thing. She has poison resistance, but normal storm dragons don't. So that's why I always forget that she has poison resistance. That's kind of awkward. Anyway, resistance. Potion of resistance for Baisushen, and we punch her. And we punch her. And we punch her. And Baisushen is no longer paralyzed. She was paralyzed and I didn't even manage to kill her. Baisushen dies. Okay, jellyfish, kind of spooky. I like this shallow water. It's purple in console. Okay. Well, that was a way to survive some really nasty fight without having to use any kind of consumable other than, Lugonu Piety, but it is very easy to replenish Lugonu Piety. Senata had an Executioner's Axe. That's a big boy weapon. Unfortunately, it is not a weapon for me. I am currently an unarmed combat character with 33 base damage with my unarmed combat. I should probably train more unarmed combat, really. Like, that should be what I should be doing. So 22. 22. A cat would have staff killed it? You think so? No bone dragons this time either? Yeah. Fortunately, what I got was enough to kill Senata and Baisushen. Thunder hooks, why? Why does it have to be this way, Crawl Depths? Why can't I just get a source of resistance to electricity so that those guys are not terrifying? I really don't like Thunder hooks. I think that they were less painful to deal with when they couldn't miss, but their thing dealt significantly less damage because now like they still do not miss, but their thing deals so much more damage. Yeah, I have 17 evasion, and that's not really doing anything versus them. You hear a faint sloshing from your file of lots as it returns to readiness. Man, the messages for experience evocable have gotten fancier. Box of Beasts. Yeah, we want experience evocables. I didn't have a lot of them. Evasion reasons? I don't know. I feel like you can have 30 evasion and they can still hit you very consistently. Remember that evasion is a placebo. Enormous slime creature. Okay, please split. Thank you for splitting before making me explode, Mr. Slime Creature. With Lugonu, you can go for Tomb for my 6th rune. I was thinking about maybe doing it for my 3rd rune and just going for triple corrupt. Oh man, that's a lot of slime creatures. Condenser Vein, on the other hand, I really want that. Oh, I really want that Condenser Vein, but opening that is so scary. I think that the last thing that I'm gonna do before leaving this level is opening that. Like I'm gonna kill the rest of the level before opening that, and of course another Thunderhook. I hate Thunderhooks. Look at that, like it just hits you. It just hits you. Feels bad. What if I re-teleport? Please don't do your thing again, Mr. Thunderhook. I think that I could have done a funny immolation move there, but I didn't really want to continue fighting with that amount of HP. Oh, I found another Beast Talisman. I have found 3 this game, and of course another Thunderhook. Yeah, every time you see a Thunderhook, you have to use a consumable. I hate that monster because of that. Okay, I'm a bit surprised that the Convoker hasn't convoked yet. I was paying attention to it because the moment that it started to convoke, I would have used File of Lots to prevent it from doing such a thing. Oh, but I didn't do it this time. Yeah, should have done it. Should have cancelled the recall. Anyway, I think that we go for Immolation this time. This time there's no Thunderhawk, so I don't think that we're at such dire risk of dying as before. Immolation. Okay, this would be a great time to bend space, you know, if Lugonu still had that. Just need resistance to electricity. Yep. The resistance to electricity will completely change this character into a significantly more powerful one. Another thing that I would really like to have is more damage output. So statue form would fulfill those needs that I have. At the same time, we would create the need for fire resistance, but I would probably just remove the Ring of the Tortoise or the Ring of Evasion and replace it with a Ring of Fire Resistance at some point, or at that point. Yeah. I still find it very funny that I get 4 wins, or rather I decide to buy 4 wins on the game that later I get all the sources of willpower and the willpower mutation from being a Demonspawn. Anyway, this is pretty awkward. I think that we read Fear. Okay, now that I have read Fear, we use one of roots here. Okay. Okay, they're about to explode. Okay, maybe some of them are about to explode, yeah. Wand of Light over here. Little bit of extra damage. This guy has +6 chainmail of Ponder, so I suspect that I'm not gonna be able to deal a lot of damage to it. Oh, I just thought of something. I don't have a shield. I could train shields. That's fine. Okay. This is okay. Yeah, this is fine. I have a little bit of regen from Powered by Death, something that has been quite disappointing for the entirety of the playthrough, but very recently I got the 2nd level, so now it's actually doing something, which is pretty nice. Alrighty, explosions. Okay. I feel like that went very well. It started very poorly, especially with the Convoke, but we were able to turn that around. Um, I still have teleportitis, right? I should probably try to get rid of it. Okay, let's go. We get intelligence, which is kinda completely worthless for my character. I'm not really using any intelligence things, so I wouldn't mind drinking more potions of mutation. But I'm gonna hold on to doing that until I have a good stack of them, if I ever have that anyway. If I find Sigotubi's Wislav here in my foray into vaults, it would be useful. It would be a good thing. But yeah, the only enemy that's truly dangerous to this character is the Thunderhawk. Everything else I beat. It's kind of lame. Um, that I still do not have the thing that allows me to beat the Thunderhook consistently. Every time that I see one, it's consumable time or else, and they're pretty common, so using consumables so constantly is quite painful. We have 2 scrolls of enchant armor that I could put on the plate, but I think that I would probably be better off just waiting for gold scales at this point. Convoker is convoking. Let's not, or I guess that I can have it happen, and I just read immolation. Yeah, as long as it doesn't convoke a Thunderhook, we're fine. Mm, that's not gonna work for me. We're gonna go for Wand of Light. Now we can go for Wand of Roots. Okay. Yeah. Couple of, or a good amount of rather liberal consumable usage, but that's what consumables are there for. And I definitely would prefer to use consumables in an offensive manner, aka immolation and Wand of Roots and stuff like that, as opposed to consumables in a defensive manner. I mean, like teleport and blinking and haste to run away and that kind of stuff. Alrighty, good old curare darts. If you're not that powerful when it comes to dealing with bands of like highly powerful enemies, curare darts are there to save you. Pretty much any melee enemy that is susceptible to curare is gonna be something that you're gonna be able to beat if you have curare. I'm a bit surprised. Why do I have so many beast talismans? If we search for talisman, we have only the Serpent Talisman that I found very recently and a ton of Beast Talismans, including the one that I'm carrying, which, by the way, I should definitely drop because we're not using that anymore. That's why you like Brigand Start? Yeah, that's pretty good when it comes to Brigand. Darts are great. They're a very useful thing to have. Another Thunderhook, File of Lots. Yeah, of course it gets its opportunity to hit me. Okay. Enemies come out of. Oh, it's. Oh man, it's not affected by silence. Why, Crawl Debs? Why? Why does it have to be this way? I guess it's only partially. No, it is completely unsilenced. Yeah, man, that sucks. Why can't it blink away? I hate these guys. Probably one of my least favorite enemies in the entirety of the game. The Thunderhook. Because if you don't have the resistance, they are completely miserable to fight against. See, in this position, I am pretty boned because, like, I have enemies surrounding me. So if I move towards it, I'm gonna get hit by 4 enemies, and then it might zap me, and then I might be at low enough HP that I'm just have to blink away. So this is like pretty lame. And not to mention that it's just far away enough that my Wand of Light doesn't reach. Ah, man. And I only have 2 resistance, so I'm not gonna use it. Do you see invisible? Okay, you don't see invisible, so maybe I can use a potion of invisibility. Not that it's gonna do a lot anyway. Okay. Antaeus is the least dangerous enemy in his branch. You could say so, yeah. Antaeus doesn't have Torment. Like, Antaeus does have kind of powerful ranged attacks, but the real threat from Antaeus is the melee. And at that point in the game, you have seen so much of the game that you most likely have 3 pips of resistance to cold. So Antaeus is not the end of the world. Um, okay. That went okay. I think that I should start implementing potions of invisibility for Thunderhooks a lot more. Talking about Thunderhooks, it still doesn't fix my main issue with Thunderhooks, which is the fact that like if you encounter one of them in an open space, you just have to use consumables. Like it's just so powerful that you have to use consumables, and they're common enough that that kind of thing is an issue. Of course, I have no issues with using consumables versus monsters like uniques, for example. When it's a normal monster like a Thunderhook or a Guardian Serpent as well, like Guardian Serpents are another monster that, in my opinion, is too common and too powerful for what it is. Um, yeah, I don't like those. Funnily enough, I don't have that kind of issue for monsters in SOT. Like, I feel like in SOT, since it's the last part of the game, monsters can be as powerful as they currently are, and it's perfectly fine. Tempted to use Immolation. I'm gonna use it. Yeah. Why wouldn't I use it after all? Consumables are there to be used. Oh, Convoked again. I guess it's fine. We don't mind that the Convoked again. One reason you like Formicid is you can go to Snake and do not care about Guardian Serpents, just dig a hole. I have died as a Formicid to Guardian Serpents before. The thing that happened was that, wow, this is a pretty bad spot. I'm gonna re-teleport. 3 dice 26 cooldown lightning. Why? Because the devs thought that it was a good idea. The devs thought that this monster was fun. I don't agree. I think that it deals too much damage at a point in the game where like you don't have the resistance, or rather, if you don't have the resistance, this thing is so painful to deal with. And as you can see, it is very common. How many of them have I fought? And every time I have to use consumables. Um, yeah, I don't like that. There's monsters like that that are just like consumable taxes. Um, Consumables are few and precious. You don't really want to just have to use them versus any random fight versus any random normal monster. Um, okay, that Convoker already convoked way too much. This is the third convoke from this Convoker. And it convoked a Lich. So it gotta pay for it with its life. You think they should have less HP, but that wouldn't fit the theme. Yeah, the theme is that it's a Nogger with something strapped on its back, pretty much. It doesn't even hit that hard. Is the only dangerous thing that it does is the cooldown lightning thing. And of course, the other spell that it has is made or like is there so that it can call down lightning constantly. The only weakness those guys have is that if they're pretty close to you, they cannot use call down lightning. So that's the counterplay that you have to deal with them. But the thing is that they also have blink away. So if you don't use a consumable, in this case potion of attraction, to make them not do the thing, they're just gonna do the thing, and they're gonna constantly do the thing until you kill them or you die. Kind of a scary situation. That Crystal Guardian was mighty. This has been a pretty exhausting run so far. It's almost been 3 hours and I still only have 1 rune. Oh, I was wondering where the Lich came from. I mean, we're at a point in the game where it's not uncommon to see Liches. so I just assumed that it was a normal spawn, but it seems to have been taken from here. I see a Randart cloak and a Randart ring, and I want those, but I suspect that the ghosts are too powerful for me to deal with. This character doesn't feel salt ready. I never do salt. I actually think salt is crazy scary, and it is almost never worth it for what it is. Oh man, the ghosts are incredibly powerful. I want those things, but I cannot deal with the ghosts. Maybe I'll open that later, but for now, we're not doing that. Yeah, fights versus normal enemies, no issues. Fights versus Thunderhooks. Dangerous if the Thunderhook decides to not be next to you, which it can do at any time. Hey, a shop. That's kind of exciting. It has absolutely nothing. Wait a second. The orb might be something, because it could be an orb of guile. And if it's an orb of guile, I can banish everything that there is to banish. I would even think about putting on Fade at that point, since I'm just gonna be banishing everything. I don't want to buy it because it's kind of expensive. One armed combat, I started as a shapeshifter, so I was just, hoping that I would get forms, which hasn't happened. Oh, the Lich. I guess that it's nice that it doesn't recall the ghost. I'm not really afraid of the Lich, even though it is invisible. I'm only afraid of this kind of thing. Yeah, the fiends are actually kind of an issue. The Tsitsi Mime is kind of an issue. Or Tsitsi Mitu, since it's only one. I am starting to think that maybe it is not a terrible idea to teleport. But at the same time, this guy is probably almost dead. Oh man. You know what would be cool if magic mapping didn't take an action? Like if magic mapping was just instant. If devs are gonna give it the thing where you see invisible for one turn and see through walls, having it be instant would also be nice. Self-banish against mass summons. I don't think that's a good idea. Using this ability will hurt you. The effort of even using the ability will leave your health depleted. Yeah, it just deals way too much damage. I would rather blink twice than self-banish here, to be completely honest. And I'm also suspecting that this Ancient Lich or Dread Lich is pretty low, because I've been hitting it kind of hard. Yeah, we have gotten some pretty good rolls on the Dread Lich. Okay, we need to run away. Yeah, I cannot beat it. I guess we just double blink. Yeah. I'm thinking about how or where I want to go. Maybe over here. Wand of Roots I don't think works on invisible enemies, so no Wand of Rootsing the Lich. I'm safe of almost everything except for Burst of Damnation, which... Oh, this guy doesn't have it. I guess only Hellions have that one. Anyway, in that case I'm pretty safe. I think that I can re-teleport then. Yeah, like, they're not gonna torment because there's friendly allies acceptable to torment. Oh, they torment. I mean, I guess it's okay. I'm still within a good amount of HP, so I don't think that I die. Oh, it torments again. Okay, now I have to use heal wounds. And we're safe. Yep. Oh. Lich summons an Executioner for no good reason. The Executioner shouldn't be difficult for me to kill. Come on, really? Why is it being so difficult to kill? And most importantly, why is it dealing damage if I have 38 armor class? Why are you actually capable of dealing damage, Mr. Executioner? You're not even mighty or anything. That's so weird. I'm starting to suspect that it's fake 38 armor class. Like, no real character with these defenses would get hit that hard by one of those guys. I don't have silence. Silence attraction would be good here, but I don't have that. Armor class is a placebo, yeah, I suppose. Less often than evasion, but it also is a placebo. You know, at the end of the day, the reality is that you cannot trust on anything that Crawl tells you. Um, you just like are wandering through the world with sheer uncertainty. It is a world, after all, where Spriggans with no armor win the game. So how do you explain that other than luck? Okay, I'm just gonna sit here. Yeah. Okay, teleports me right next to the Sphinx, the Scroll of Teleportitis. A whole level's worth of space with no enemies, and it teleports me to the one other enemy that was in the level. Sure thing. Anyway, I still don't think that I can deal with these ghosts. And I need to deal with the Lich if I want to open that vault and free those ghosts. Let's go upstairs. Oh, let's kill the Lich, I suppose. My main issue here is that like I'm not dealing enough damage to this thing. My damage rating is 38. It's actually pretty low, I think. Yeah, not high enough for me to kill those kinds of things quickly. Of course, it would be much easier if I had a talisman, but we have not found that. Okay, that's funny. I go upstairs, instantly pushed away from the stairs, and hit by teleport. So we read teleport and hope that we don't get hit by acid and lightning, things that I do not resist. Man, it's almost like they're targeting the resistances that I do not have. I don't want to do anything versus these guys other than maybe drink heal wounds. Yeah, just drink the rest of my heal wounds. It sure was rude to be instantly pushed away from the stairs upon going upstairs. Like that was pretty vile. Yeah, not the kind of thing that I can deal with without really using a lot of consumables and stuff. Might as well just like teleport and try again later. Like for example, now it probably would be significantly more approachable of a fight. Thunderhook does its thing, and now it's outside of the range of my Wand of Light at almost death. Okay, at least it doesn't follow up with its thing to deal a ton of damage to me as a parting gift, because they really like to do that kind of thing. Man. Yep, I'm not dealing enough damage. This is pretty bad. You barely miss the Tango River. I guess it has an okay amount of evasion, but still, that makes me feel sad. I'm starting to feel pretty sad with this character. And yeah, I think that the honeymoon phase uh, of the talisman change is already over, and I'm starting to see things that I really do not like um, about the idea of the talisman playstyle. Like, there's nothing inherently wrong. The issue is that, for example, this is not even the first character that I have like this, where I go through the entirety of the game without like a form. And then when I find a form, it's a form that's completely irrelevant. Because imagine if I was in serpent form, I would be dying in 3 hits from almost anything. I wouldn't even be killing them in 3 hits because evasion. Yeah, the serpent form is just too late. Like I didn't get it early enough. For Lair, it would have been a pretty great thing to have. That's why Trog should gift talismans. I hope that that such a Trog rework eventually comes to happen. Anyway, Sajobo at least has a talisman, so I can train shapeshifting. The downside is that it's one of the most expensive talismans to train for in the game. I think that you need 21 to make it work. And even then, it melts your entire gear and it doesn't give you extra HP, so yeah, it's not great. You know what I should use? I should use Wand of Roots versus you because you have all the evasion. Hmm. Okay, Sojobo is Bolt of Lightning me, using Lightning Bolt against me, and I do not have the resistance. I only have 3 potions. What if I do this? Okay, now Sojobo is very poisoned, almost dead, slow, and misshapen and mutated, and constricted by roots. Yeah, in case that wasn't enough. You kill Sojobo. Yay! Okay. Still extremely painful. But we happen to acquire the Storm Talisman. Minimum skill 21. At 100% training, you reach 21 in about 3.6 experience levels, which early in the game, 3.6 is reasonable, but I'm experience level 19, almost 20. 3.6 is potentially the rest of the game. I do not like it. Yeah, I think that I just opened that because I want the condenser vein. In fact, ever since I saw that condenser vein, there's been so many fights where I wish I had it. It's nice that I finally will get access to it. Okay. Okay, we got some okay things from there. I should probably read those enchant armors on the plate, but once again, I resist the temptation of doing such a thing because I am so close to the gold scales that I want, or maybe even the storm scales with the way things are going. And I would like to use those on my endgame armor, since after all I don't have that many of them. Wondering if opening that lasty bolt with the 2 renders and teleporting them to let them filter through the level and then trying to run it back in and loot is worth. I'm probably gonna do that, but when I have more scrolls of tele, since I only have one. Yeah, it is absolutely not worth it with only one scroll of tele. Yep, these fights in bolts have heavily taxed my consumables. Got a lot of thunder hooks and not a lot of resistance to electricity. Not much to do about that one. I have Snake, and I absolutely hate Snake, so we're not going there. And going to depths. Okay. I'm thinking about how I can do this. You have Sig? I don't have Sig, because I haven't seen the entrance. Yeah, I'm thinking about how to proceed here. There, like, I can blink into the teleport trap right there. I think that's a pretty good play. I can blink into the hatch. I can walk into the hatch. Or I can go upstairs, re-teleport, then go downstairs. I can also try to corrupt, but I think that from those options, the best option is just the one that consumes the least amount of consumables, which is just walking to the hatch and hatching myself down. Yeah, I'm gonna go for that. Okay, we take some damage. I don't like how this looks. I feel like I landed in a really dangerous spot. Magic mapping, because I really want to see what this is. And yeah, as I suspected, my intuition was correct. It is a pretty dangerous spot. It's one of those bolts that take up half of the level, but in depths, full of depths monsters. I think that we maybe blink over here and we curare, and then we punch this guy, and that should hopefully kill that guy, and let me run for my life without getting killed by all of these extremely dangerous dudes. And I just like stay away from these bolts, potentially even go down so I can auto explore, because you may have already noticed it, but one of the things that I really don't like being in the receiving end of in crawl is to not be able to auto explore. And I like high level monsters and dangerous bolts and stuff like that make it so that it's very difficult for you to auto explore. So I have never liked them. I should be able to kill this golden dragon without a lot of complications, right? I have all of the resistances, 1 pip of all of them, so I should be able to kill it, right? In reality, we don't know, we do not know, but let's have fun finding out. Okay, so far it's looking like I can't. I went for that not because I wanted to banish it. I knew that it was impossible. I went for it because I wanted to malmutate it, which I really like from Lugonu, by the way. I am definitely losing this. I'm losing hard. I like it's so bad that I don't think that I can survive if I continue fighting this guy. It's a shame. I thought that 70 HP was gonna be enough. Normally, golden dragons aren't as powerful as this, but this one has definitely been the exception. Okay, I'm gonna re-teleport and then I'm gonna drink a couple of curings. What is this? Randart amulets and a couple of really nasty enemies. Okay, you know what? I can probably corrupt here. If I corrupt here, do I die? I would love to teleport again, but like that was my last teleport. I might die due to attrition. You know, just like too many fights that consume too many consumables, and I might be dead. I could also enter the abyss. Yeah, this would be a perfect time to have some regen. But I don't have that. What I do have is Ambrosia. Some nice heals from the Ambrosia. The first one didn't last that long, but the second one gave me a good amount of HP. Anyway, after the usage of 2 potions of Ambrosia, I went from 4 HP to 75. Well worth it. Hey, Nessus is here. Goodbye, Nessus. Yeah, like whenever you enter the abyss, all of the monsters that you killed earlier are gonna come out to play. Yeah, it definitely is nasty to go to the abyss after you go through Sod with a weapon of distortion and you banish like a million orbs of fire. Yeah, all of these two-headed ogres and cyclopes, I banished those things in the early game. I think the most recent thing that I've banished was definitely not that Cyclops. A Thunderhook? If I banish a Thunderhook, that might be a serious issue. I can always get out, but might as well just chill in the abyss for a bit. Maybe gain a level. Let's see if Lugonu gives me an exit. Go down. I can try going for the rune. After all, like, you know, Lugonu worshipper, right? So going for the rune is actually not such a terrible idea. I can always call it quits whenever I want to, after all. What am I training? Shapeshifting. I decided to turn it on because I have Stormform. And Stormform does give me resistance to electricity. It might still not be a good idea, to be completely honest. Gateway leading out appears. Gonna try to fight a little bit longer. I don't have attraction. Oh man, I'm just gonna get out into the same position that I was in before. Okay, if I'm gonna get out, I'm gonna get out properly. Resistance and might. And I have 5 haste. I shall sacrifice one. I don't know what loot these guys are guarding. But at least I cannot see any scrolls or blinking, so I'm just not gonna mess with that any further. And I'm gonna get out and punch this guy and punch this Vampire Knight and punch this Golden Dragon. And surprisingly enough, if my damage output is good, my capability of killing dudes is also good. I even get a gold skills as a reward, which I am going to proceed to enchant instantly. I should probably not be training that anymore. Yeah, like, am I really going to use shapeshifting? It's too late into the game. It didn't come. I'm just gonna let it go. Fighting or unarmed combat, armor to 21, fighting to 27. Yeah, maybe shields. That's also a possibility. Shields. Resistance issue fixed. Disagree. My potion of resistance is giving you the impression that I have good resistances. I still have the lack of resistance to electricity. At least every other resistance is taken care of, but resistance to electricity is still one of my greatest weaknesses, which is a shame because we're going into the land of the Storm Dragons and the Black Draconians. But even those are significantly less scary and less damaging than Thunderhooks. Thunderhooks are truly despicable monsters. Like, take a look at this. You're not gonna believe this. Storm Dragon, Lightning Bolt, 3 dice of 19. You don't see it in tiles, but you can see it in console right here. 3 dice of 19. How much damage does a Thunderhook do? 3 dice of 26. You can see it in tiles. 3 dice of 26. This monster appears earlier than the Storm Dragon. The stats are similar, but the Storm Dragon does not blink away from you, and it does not smite target you with more damage. Like it's crazy how strong this thing is compared to the Storm Dragon. Storm Dragons have, in my opinion, been on the weaker side of things for a while, but definitely Thunderhawks are too strong. So it's a matter of Storm Dragons being too weak and Thunderhawks being too strong. Ideally, the Thunderhawk wouldn't be as strong as, or like stronger than the Storm Dragon. Let's go tell them that Storm Dragons should learn to blink. Hopefully never. But even then, they wouldn't be as scary as Thunderhooks are. Okay, pretty good. I have to say that Powered by Death has heavily underperformed this run, much to my dismay. That's definitely not something that I am pleased to announce. Yeah, did it get seriously nerfed or something? Okay, never mind. This time I got a ton of regen from Powered by That. Look at this! HP regen 8.47 HP per turn. Because the number, regen 8. In the earlier parts of the game, it was very difficult for the number to get to 3, and now I am at 8. Did I get the 3rd level at some point? No, I still have only the 2nd level. When I get the 3rd level, things are gonna be pretty funny. I think that we can read another immolation. Ah, yes, good old immolation. Nothing beats that. Such a satisfying effect. I think one of the reasons why I like Flame Burst so much in Rift Wizard is because it's like a satisfying usage of immolation, but at command, you know? What kind of mini bolt is it? I don't know if it's a mini bolt. It takes up literally half of the level, after all. It's just one of those ridiculous depths bolts that have a million high-level monsters that are super scary and dangerous, and often do not give you enough of a reward for how expensive they are in terms of consumables. At the very least, that has been the case right now. I still do not have Scrolls of Tele, so running around without Scrolls of Tele. Oh, by the way, this is a Titan. I think that the Titan was still less dangerous than the Thunderhook. Thunderhooks are the absolute pinnacle of electrocution monsters. Well, maybe maybe electric golems are scarier than Thunderhooks, since after all, electric golems can literally just delete you in melee. Um, but Thunderhooks are much more consistent at dealing a lot of damage to you. Any special loot in it? I sure hope so. I mean, I haven't seen the entirety of it, but so far what we have found, like we found a Randart amulet that was kind of worthless. We found a potion of mutation, 2 potions of mutation. I might drink those. We found a sense monster on Curare. We found a potion of curing. Yeah, we have been finding some stuff. Nothing too high value, unfortunately. Yeah. I think that the best possible thing that could happen to this character is if I find a good kite shield, a manual of shields, a source of resistance to electricity, obviously, and maybe a form, but I don't know when it comes to that. Like, I think the ship has already set sail when it comes to forms. Like, it's very clear that it's not gonna happen, so maybe no forms. Yeah, putting any experience towards a storm form feels like a big mistake. I feel pretty scammed, but I mean, I guess that at least we got this far into the game. It could have been much worse. I have had significantly more painful runs than this one. And at the very least, I don't have to fear getting hexed or destroyed by 1% chance to get banished or paralyzed. Yeah, it's been fine. Really, could have been so much worse. Like that run that I had on Friday, if you were not here for the end of it, obviously I died instantly, and I forgot that I don't have the resistance for these guys. It is so uncommon for me to not have the resistance by this point in the game that I didn't even think too much about fighting these things, but very clearly, that's getting me killed. Literally getting me killed. I don't have fear, I don't have Fogo, I might be dead. I don't even have the mana for entering the abyss. But I do have potions of mana. I don't have potions of mana. That's crazy. Why do I not have potions of mana? Like, a potion of mana here would serve as a potion of heal wounds because I have mana or I have guardian spirit. But I guess that I don't have that. Man, how dare I play the game, I suppose. Yeah, I guess that it's over. The best thing that I can do is double blink and hope that they do not chase me. But they're gonna chase me. Okay, 4 HP, Earth and Tome. I'm not afraid of this in the sense that it is going to, in the sense that it is not going to hex me. It might kill me in melee, but it's not gonna hex me. Yeah, I have nothing. I guess I have nothing. Yeah, resistance was used way too late. Do they seem invisible? They don't, but I have 4 HP. Any scratch is probably going to kill me. Okay, that's actually really helpful, believe it or not. These things are weak to poison. Yeah, susceptible to poison, so you're not gonna be too incentivized into stepping here. I might have enough of a chance to regen or to get curing. Oh man, like if I had heal wounds, this would be helpful here. I don't have any way to truly heal. I don't have enough mana to enter the abyss. Why do I not have Potions of Mana and why do I not have Scrolls of Tele? That's crazy, but that's just how the game is, I suppose. And I think that I should go play some Rift Wizard. You know what's the saddest thing here? Even if I survive, I'm gonna survive with no blinking. So like that's just signing a death sentence, but it's just that I'm not gonna die here. Yeah, like I can blink, but it's still not gonna go very well. Um, I have still Potion of Resistance. Can hit for 50, 74% chance to hit me. So yeah, I guess that I do need to blink away from this one. You destroy the living spell, that's funny. Well, second layer branch cleared, it's a snake. I don't want to do it because it's a snake. I'm just gonna get surrounded by guardian serpents and die. Especially considering how I don't have teleport and I'm about to not have blinking. Okay, now we run away. And I think we're cool. Why is it so difficult to get out of here? Sadly, no cleave would be great with cleave. I think that I would have died if I had tried to fight their cleave or no cleave. Okay, I think we're okay unless you happen to be really rude today, Mr. Stone Giant. I'm hasted after all. Okay, Spark Wasp catches up to me. Scroll of Poison. Okay. I still have Potion of Resistance, still perfectly capable of killing you even if you have the resistance. Spark Wasps are kinda silly monsters after all. Hey, look at that, a one-way gate to the infinite horrors of the abyss and the potential exit to this death trap that I utterly despise. I really want to drink those potions of mutation. I'm gonna try to regen to full and then come back or go back in there and pick this up. Can probably actually fight things when they're not hitting me with electrocution damage. Yeah, that guy was the perfect example of that. I was secretly really hopeful for I was secretly really hopeful for resistance to electricity as a mutation. That would have been a game-winning event for this character. Yeah, because like all of my other resistances are okay. The only one that we need to get some health with is resistance to electricity. By the way, have I still not gotten... I have not gotten level 3 of the antennae, which gives me See Invisible. I still have not gotten level 3 of the Icy Blue Scales, which give me cold resistance. And I have not gotten level 3 of Powered by Death. And I think that those are the only mutations that I'm missing. Unless the game has something in store for me. But you know how it is with Demonspawn. Amassing enough experience for experience level 27 is very difficult when you're a Demonspawn. So it might not happen. And by it might I mean it's probably not gonna happen. Okay. I normally have issues killing things. It definitely does not help that I was corroded there. I think for the entirety of the duration of the corrosion, I didn't manage to kill anything. That was painful. Okay, 22 unarmed combat. Now we start training for shields. We have a Shield of Reflection, courtesy of Donald, and we have Spark Wasps. I also have a Wand of Charming, but Spark Wasps are terrible at fighting it themselves because they're immune to electricity, which feels really bad. Man, imagine if this Wand of Charming was a Wand of Paralysis. I wish it was a Wand of Paralysis so badly. I hate Charming. Charming shouldn't even be in the game, I think, with how bad it can be compared to Paralysis. Yeah, look at this stalemate. And I still have to deal with that one, which is the worst part. Yeah, might as well just use Mind Burst. They have too much evasion to reliably kill them in any other way. I want these, but I don't know if I might need the money in the near future, so I'm not gonna buy them instantly. Golden Dragon is easy to kill. Spark Wasp is dangerous. So many of them. Game is definitely targeting my weakness. Game is sentient. Yeah, should probably go for that. Look at that, I got a Cloud of Acid. That's really nice. Ever since the rework of Condenser Vein, I hadn't gotten a Cloud of Acid. Attraction would be good here, but I don't have it. Just to pull the monsters into the clouds. Okay. Wand of Roots for the Shadow Dragon, because it's kind of scary. It immediately breaks away from the Wand of Roots. However, I just punch it to death very easily. Lucky me. The loot has been so worthless. I am astonished at this vault. Yeah, it is crazy that the loot here, like, I guess I got my gold scales, which that's a good thing. No complaining about having finally gotten my gold scales, but man, that was rough. And that was only Depths 2. I haven't done Depths 1. What is Shapeshifting? Shapeshifting is a new skill. Shapeshifting enables the use of magical talismans to change oneself into other forms. Sufficient skill allows one to use more powerful forms without gravely damaging one's health. Being skilled in shapeshifting also makes most forms somewhat stronger in ways which vary between forms. Is the replacement of the form spells. Now you find them as items. They do not scale with intelligence, and they're not magic. So if you are a worshipper of Trog, if you're a Troll Berserker and you find statue form as an item, you can use the statue form. It does require you to train at least 15 shapeshifting, because if you don't train 15 shapeshifting, it is going to severely nerf your maximum HP. For example, I am carrying a Storm Talisman, which took way too long to generate. I have 11.2 shapeshifting. If I wanted to use this, if I used it, my HP would go down to 10%. So I would be at 10% in HP in this form permanently. Like that would be my max HP while I'm in the form. Using the form requires you to wait for 5 turns. So like putting on an amulet, it's the same thing. So that you don't just switch in and out of forms during combat. I have done it. I have switched to a different form during combat in the super late game, but it is not ideal to do that kind of thing because you're just wasting 5 turns. So yeah, if you don't have the minimum skill, insufficient skill lowers this form's max HP. It is pretty scary, pretty dangerous, but this is a storm form. You have come to the conclusion that Blade and Serpent both suck. I also came to the conclusion that forms that nuke your armor class suck. That includes Maw form. So yeah, those 3 probably need some changes so that they're more decidable to use. Armor class is just too important. Like tankiness is a big thing. Want the roots, and then we go for maybe Curare. Okay, we actually hit the air mage with Curare. That's lucky. Serpent has good melee, but unlike Maw and Blade, it makes you 1.0. Movement speed? Oh, yeah, yeah, of course. That makes sense. Oh, these were, these are not the guys that I ran away from earlier. Anyway, I don't have teleports. I'm probably dead. Yeah, I don't see how I survive this one. Well, to begin with, I should probably haste if I wanna survive this one. The Kirare tip dart barely misses the Juggernaut. Okay. Mr. Juggernaut is poisoned. And I finally get hit hard by the Juggernaut. That doesn't happen very frequently. At least it didn't kill me. But yeah, it is uncommon for a Juggernaut to hit that hard. Shield. I am training shields after all, might as well go pick up and use one. Come on. Oh, you know why I don't know how to get there? Because I have to go through that level. Oh man, I cannot do this today. That's gonna be it for me tonight. I'll come back later, rested, and hopefully we can survive with this character because it's not that terrible. It is missing one item. It's missing its resistance to electricity, but I think that it's a combination of everything that this character has been subject to. Low damage, no resistances. For the longest time, I had no defenses either. Like there was a point where I just put on plate because it was very clear that the game was not gonna give me forms and fast enough. But yeah, I need to come back to it tomorrow, and hopefully I won't die. Um, I think that let's set this as an experiment. Like if I come back tomorrow to this character and it really doesn't function and I die, I think that the next time that I feel like this about a character, I'm just gonna quit it because what happened on Friday is that I saved and then I came back on Monday and I died almost instantly upon starting the stream, and that already um, disappointed me a bit. So I didn't do very well on the stream yesterday because of that. If that's just how it's gonna be when it comes to characters like that, I would rather not play them. So yeah. Anyway, as I was saying, that's it for me. I will come back tomorrow, so we can finish that character and start another one, or maybe play Rift Wizard. Yeah, because um, talismans have been fun. Talismans are fun. Shapeshifting is fun. But the thing is that you really need to get lucky with the loot, and I don't know what happened. Maybe the rate of drop for the talismans got severely nerfed. But in my first couple of runs, I found all of them, and now, like, well, you have seen how it's been. It took me until balls to find Serpent Talisman. At that point, it's completely worthless. It sucks that like they used to be good the first couple of days and now they're not good anymore. I wonder what happened. It really must have been just a nerf to talisman drop. Um, yeah. Anyway, I have to end stream now. See you around. Have a nice rest of your night, and thank you for stopping by. And I appreciate your continued support and everything, and the donations and the subscriptions and the chat interaction and everything. It always is appreciated, and I definitely do not take it for granted. See you around and have a nice rest of your night, everyone.